If you like the video, please consider supporting James Corp on Patreon. Hi, hello everyone, and welcome to Test Chamber Twilight 2000. We're going to be playing Twilight 2000 for the next 8 weeks, I think, with a review at the end and everything else that needs to come with it that we do here over at Test Chamber. Don't forget, if you're enjoying this, to like and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitch, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. You've got Amazon Prime and you're not using it because you're just giving Amazon free money. Then we're going to go around the table, get people to introduce themselves, tell us a bit about themselves, like a bit of their background, like how long they've been into RPGs and so on and so forth. I do need to declare that Free League did provide a review copy of Twilight 2000 that I've got on my shelf, because I sorted out my shelf. So this was provided to me by Free League themselves. Most appreciated. Anything else I need to cover? It should be a lot of fun. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I have no idea what to expect.
Cover the format of the show, man.
What's the format of the show?
Play and review.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we're going to play. Today's session is mostly going to be character creation, I think. We're going to be doing it a bit differently, I think, with this. I think we're going to be playing and generating characters as we play. It might be worth, Nathan, doing like a life path one, perhaps if you're free during the week or another week or something on another day, just for completion's sake.
If you really want to, yeah.
Character creation videos are always really popular on YouTube. Yeah, so we'll do this for 7 weeks. 7 weeks, and then at the end we will hopefully have an interview with the creator, and we'll have a review right at the end as well. And then we'll move on to the next game, depending on what that is. Hopefully that will be Questworld finally, after pushed back a few times. But yeah, that's it really. Obviously I'm James Corp. I run the channel and trying to arrange things. It doesn't always go to plan. Don't forget, we are always looking for new players, so keep your eyes peeled for games that interest you, and you can sign up by filling out the application form that we put up live. Obviously, if you're a subscriber or a Patreon supporter, you go ahead of other people. I take bribery, basically. That's what it is. It's bribes, okay? So, you know, if you wanna fucking bribe me, I'll happily take bribes. That's it, really. I've been playing games for like 20 plus years. I should be quite familiar with this because we played Aliens not too long ago, and not too long before that we did Mutant Year Zero. I've also played Run Tales from the Loop. So yeah, I'm quite adept at years. Is it called Years? Yeah, it's called Year Zero, isn't it? The system.
Year Zero engine, yeah.
Yeah, I'm quite adept at it, and hopefully this year we'll be doing Varson as well. So keep an eye out for that. Who should I go to next? I'm gonna go right to the end. Trey?
Yes. Well, as it says on the screen, my name is Trey, or close enough. Next year, I'll be celebrating my 30th anniversary as a game master, as I started running my first game when I was 11 years old, and been running a lot of campaigns. I've recently been running Numenera. I'm most of the time a GM, sometimes a player. And I've been playing Forbidden Lands for about a half a year, and then I had 2 trial sessions in one as a player and one as a game master in Twilight 2000.
That's another game that's on for this year as well.
Forbidden Lands. Lovely box set too.
I don't know how it'll work with an 8-week cycle. I'm not sure. I don't know if it would work, but I'll figure it out.
That's gonna be. I run also an online West Marches campaign in Forbidden Lands, and you're very weak in the beginning, and then it just spirals out of control. So I think an 8-week, like 8 sessions of Forbidden Lands could be very interesting. Combat is short and sweet, often deadly.
Right, thank you, Tom.
Yeah, hi, I'm Tall Tom. I mean, presumably there are other Tall Toms.
Are you actually tall? Or is it just...
Well, I mean, the glorious thing about
like
the last 2 years is nobody who plays with me knows. It's the constant mystery. Well, look at it this way. If I stand up too suddenly, I do get a head rush. So that's probably a good sign that I'm tall, right? I've been
Or unfit?
Gaming since the 90s, but then had a bit of a break and came back and went, wow, games got really good in my absence. Been missing out. And especially, I've been playing recently bits of Alien and Basin and going, wow, Free League are really knocking it out the park. So I know very little about Twilight 2000, but I'm very excited to dip my toe into it.
I almost brought a copy of Twilight 2000 sometime in the 90s. I don't know what version it was, but I almost went down that route.
Yeah, it's the old school part of me went, wow, that's back again.
Yep. I played in a game of Twilight 2000 when I was a kid, and we got through character creation. I had to go home. It was like we were doing the life path thing and hammering stuff out, and I'm like, well, that's the 3 hours done. I'll see you guys later. I gotta go. I never actually played it. I never actually got a chance to play. So
Thank you. Mr. Douglas.
Mr. Douglas, I got a promotion. Hi, everybody. I'm Douglas, Broken Shepherd on Discord, Broke Shep on Twitter. I was role-playing back in the 80s and 90s, and like Tall Tom, I took a break as well. So I'm a recidivist gamer. I've come back to discover this incredible, rich world with well-designed, engaging, often rules-light versions that gone into all the stuff that I love. So I've really enjoyed the last couple of years exploring new systems, getting to play games that I really only imagined when I was younger. I haven't played Twilight 2000 since probably 92, when it was still a forward-looking what-if scenario as opposed to an alternate universe scenario. So that'll be pretty interesting to see. I've played some Alien recently, so I've had some exposure to the Year Zero engine and to the production values that Free League is bringing to their games. So really excited to dive into this and see what they've done with it for sure.
Thank you very much. And last but not least, our games master, the person who's going to talk to us for the next 7 weeks.
6 weeks.
Nathan. 7? Because
7.
It's 7. Yeah, it's 7 because obviously, this is generally a character creation episode, right?
Yeah, I was thinking with character creation, a little bit of prep, and then 6 weeks of hard gaming, and then interviews and reviews.
Right.
Exactly.
Correctamundo. Hey, I'm Nathan. I'm Godless Polecat. Anywhere you care to find me online. Most of the time, if you're looking at watching me run games or playing games, it's on James's channel, but I can be seen elsewhere. If you're lucky enough to catch me like a leprechaun, you won't get a pot of gold, although you might have a good time. My experience with Free League's Year Zero engine is I got really intimate with it with the Aliens test chamber that we did, and I was bummed to find out that this version of the Year Zero engine in Twilight 2K 4th edition, it's got nothing really to do with the aliens. It's Year Zero in the fact that you're still taking dice pools from 2 different sources and then rolling them, but the dice pools are built differently. The rules are built differently. It's impressive to me how many different ways that they can tweak a game system or a game engine in order to get different results. Like using the Year Zero engine for Mutant Year Zero, and then using it to create stress and stuff for aliens, and then this. I don't know how crunchy it's going to be. We're going to see how crunchy combat is in this. It sounds pretty crunchy, but yeah, we'll give it a test run and we'll see how nitty gritty and dirty they can make combat in the late 90s. Should be fun.
Cool. Right. Well, that's it for introductions. What do we need to do? What do we do? How do we start, Nathan?
I don't know. How do we start? How's anything start? All right. So it is the late 90s. You're in Western Poland, just over the border from Germany, and you're in a camp that is basically an objective rally point. It is a staging area. There's no like hard fortification or anything. It's a staging area in the middle of nowhere in order to stage a battalion or what's left of a battalion's worth of task force elements forward into action. If you guys know anything about military tactics and stuff, everything is basically a circle formation with outer combat units and then hasty tents and stuff set up in the middle with command and control and stuff. You're an element that has just been put together. You are all members of. We've talked briefly off camera about what type of characters people want to kind of have. It'll be up to you when we do the briefing real quick here. If you guys want to, I mean, it's a small army. You guys know each other. You know of each other, but you can decide if you've worked loosely with each other or not. But you're a task force that's being assembled for a very specific mission. You've been pulled away from your respective units to be detailed for this mission because you are specialties or particularly skilled in your area of expertise. So you get pulled into the center tent, and the task force commander, Task Force Rigsby, or not task force, but Lieutenant Colonel Rigsby, is sitting inside the tent, and he's just kind of like sitting on one of the sit-up tables, waiting for you guys to basically file in and come on in. So as you come in, you can briefly, as you file into the tent, you can describe your character. And let's go to the player's manual under character creation, under archetype. I don't know, can I show this to you guys? Yes, I can show players. Boom, there it is. Does it pop it up on the screen if I show it to y'all?
Archetypes.
Okay, cool. Yep, so we're gonna go with step 1 and step 2 and step 3. So we'll go around. We'll start with Tom. Go ahead and choose your archetype. Choose your nationality.
So there is an issue, Nathan.
What?
We don't have permission to view the journal entries for the archetypes.
Oh no.
You can get in there. I don't know if you can get through the link. Yeah, you can't get it through the link, but you can get there through the in Foundry on the journal entries directly.
Yeah, could you guys click through?
What journal entries?
Sorry, like in Foundry, you've got on the right, you've got all those little icons. I think it's the second to last icon that gets you to. Drag this a long way. That gets you to the list of all the core rules, core tables, all that kind of stuff. And the character creation journal entries are there.
Oh, you're looking at the compendium, right?
Yeah, the actual
Is that where you
compendium.
are? Yeah. The all right. Well, okay. If I have to go that way, I'll go that way.
So I got there through the journal entry for player's manual journal.
Yeah. So basically, Tom, or what we're going to do is describe what you look like, what your nationality is, and what your we could talk briefly also your archetype and what branch of the military or civilian are you?
Cool. So just got on random name generator. Yeah, so I'm Blake Parsons, and yeah, I'm from America. Everybody said we were going to be home by Christmas, and I'm now beginning to think maybe we're not. Maybe. But you know, my missus has just had a kid, so I'd love to get this done and get back if that's all right. So if we could just sort this war thing out, that'd be great.
Tom's going to be the first one to die. He's just had a Dear John letter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and he's kind of it looks like a fairly standard grunt in his kind of late 20s, I guess. Constantly rolling up cigarettes.
Already.
I don't know if they do rollies in America.
How do they not? Right.
Yeah, they
do.
And rolls, sure.
It's so cheap to like buy packets of cigarettes.
Well, not in World War III.
Yeah, you wouldn't as a soldier. You would be rolling your own as a soldier. Maybe as an officer, but
oh really? They don't, because I remember I know in World War II they provided them, didn't they? They pretty much
they use them like money to bribe locals.
yeah, but you wouldn't be rolling your own.
unless that's your particular preference and you have a problem with
Yeah.
filters.
So if you, yeah. Okay. Branch of service. It really doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter that I don't know. It really doesn't matter, but it does matter. We could just go with Army if
Yeah,
you
sure.
want, or you could
Yeah.
be a Marine. It says in your archetype that so are you definitely going to pick Gunner?
Yeah, I think Gunner works.
Gunner for your archetype. Okay. Okay, so yeah. It says here that we have to roll for your rank. So if you would roll a d6, please, we'll decide what rank you start out as. Bam. What'd you get?
5.
You got a 5. Excellent. You are a private first class. PFC. Doesn't really matter.
Cool.
Because you guys could be traded. You've been treated pretty. Yeah, you've been treated like pretty much like special forces for the last like basically year. Everybody in the group's kind of has done non-conventional missions to begin with. So rank really doesn't matter, but it may come up. It may come up in play. Okay, so let's go with James.
All right. Would he be if he's a trained medic? Would he be classed as a doctor?
No, he would not.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to be a PA, a physician's assistant? Do you want to be a doctor? The difference between medic and doctor is, or a PA is like a PA is can do like see, all medics are basically rockstar EMTs and paramedics.
Right.
They're like EMTs. Paramedic is
You're a first
maybe
responder, not a
lieutenant.
surgeon.
Physician assistant is an officer. That's like a I'm just not. It's more than just a nurse. but you're not cutting on people. You're like a medic plus. You're kind of like a paramedic. But actually, if you wanted to actually be a doctor, that's actually also possible. But you would not be parachuting in with the grunts.
No.
You might be local.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. All right. Well, I'm not. I'll just be a whatever paramedic type person then. You know.
Medic, yeah.
Just
But you do
medic.
have they do send medics to like paramedic classes and EMT classes and stuff too. Especially if you're special forces, you get more. There's more in-depth medical training.
James, you remember Band of Brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ro, the Cajun guy, is combat medic.
Yeah.
Like they got assigned to that essentially in basic training, and got their limited field medical training. And their job is just to keep people from bleeding out until they can get them back to an aid station.
That's the snow one, right? Where he's like trying to
Yeah,
keep everyone
that's in
alive,
Bastogne.
yeah?
That's right.
And he gets sort of to that nurse, right? And
Yeah.
who dies, right?
That's the one.
Dies. Right.
She definitely does.
I'm sorry, it's been a very long time since I watched Band of Brothers.
It's been 20 years.
Okay, so
I think he's British. I think. Sorry, Tom, I'm being fucking lazy. I can't be fucked. I think
It's
he's
fine.
from London. He's probably from London. He's with them. Perhaps his squad he came down with maybe got wiped out or something.
okay.
If it's a multinational task force, they've got and they're cobbling together survivors from earlier combats in the war. They're probably pulling from all sorts. So there'd be Germans and Americans and Brits and Canadians and whoever else, sort of roughly assembled into something like a battalion.
And we're gonna say you are
He's covered in tattoos as well. He's covered in tattoos of his fallen comrades.
all right. I will say you were also a well, you can have specialties. Your specialties can be combat medic, field surgeon, or general practitioner. So if you did want to be doctor or whatever, you could.
I'll figure that out as I go.
Yeah.
He's probably late. Well, I guess people call him Laker.
Laker.
It's his surname, yeah.
All right, Laker.
his full name's Samuel Laker, or so they either call him Sam or Laker or whatever.
They call you
whatever
Doc. That's what
or
they call
Doc.
you.
Okay.
Yep. If you're a medic in the army, everyone calls you Doc.
Okay. Must be confusing when there's a bunch of medics in the same room. Hey, Doc, and they all look around.
It'd be Doc Laker.
Oh, okay.
when I go to when your unit goes to the aid station to get you, it's Doc Laker. You're like here, and you come out, and then from then on, whenever you're walking around with a squad or whatever, it's just Doc.
He's probably in his mid-20s.
All right, Doc Laker. Tattoos representing dead comrades. That's a good pick. And are you Army, Marine, or were you drafted? Are you white collar? You're gonna want to be military. Are you Army or Marine? Are you Royal? Are you Royal Marines, or are you?
I'm trying to think. Who wear the red berets?
I don't know. That's Royal Marines, isn't it?
Is it Royal Marines?
I think it's Royal Marines. Yeah. If you're
Sure.
talking British, that's Royal Marines.
Yeah, it's Royal Marine.
All right, you're Royal Marines.
Do I get to roll my rank as well?
Yep. Go ahead and roll a 1d6.
Did that not work? Why are you not working? For fuck's sake.
You want me to roll it?
No, it's just there's a thing you can click where you can roll a d6, but it's not rolling the d6. How did that happen? Oh, 5.
5.
I'm a sergeant.
You are a sergeant. Yep. We'll say you're a staff sergeant.
What's the difference? What's a staff sergeant? Do I need to put staff sergeant?
It's just
I need to put-
SSGT.
What?
SSGT
I
for
don't know
staff
what that
sergeant.
means.
It was just SSG.
I'm
I
going to
just-
learn so much actual real world knowledge on this game.
Yeah. If you.
I don't know any lingo, guys.
That's okay. I know
wet
all the
behind
lingo.
ears.
Yeah. And you're a medic anyway, so you don't need to worry about the grunt stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Full disclosure, I was a soldier for 11 years, so I know all the lingo. And the stuff you're not allowed to say, like all the swear words and stuff, because I was infantry for 11 years.
Is that what I need to do?
That's all you need to do for now. Yep, just your description, your branch, and your rank, and your basically your archetype. What I'm seeing if does it allow you to Blake Parsons, USA Army, private first class. Okay, it doesn't say anything about archetype. Okay, cool. All right, just making sure. All right, yeah. Trey, you walk into the tent. There's soup and coffee off to your right. What does your guy look like? And
he's lanky. He's tall. He's lanky. He's even got a lanky face, like a little sunken chins. There's something with it. His eyes. They catch your attention as he walks in, but your attention is very quickly drawn to his smile, which lights up. It's very disarming. And the attention is in on that smile, so you don't notice the dead in his eyes. He dresses nondescript. He is. You only know him unless you know him a little better. You only know him as Flagpole, so that he goes by that name. Since you said we've been working together for a while, right? As a unit.
yeah, that's up to you. But as you guys have been doing like non-standard missions, then you are kind of known to the group a little bit, yeah.
Okay. So even though he hadn't said it outright, maybe you all know that he's with the CIA. It's something. I don't know. Picked up a little Virginian accent or something. Yeah, and he's was about to say, yeah, he's US of A. So I don't know if that's a requirement, but he is US citizen and with the CIA. Yeah. Do you need more at this current time?
Yeah, you don't have a rank. Your branch is intelligence.
No, yeah, no ranks. This is here. So
Yeah. Are you
None applicable.
are you a full case officer with the CIA, or are you allowed to like develop assets? Do you have people that you can like contact in various areas, or are you just kind of a guy on the ground who like goes and gets stuff done?
I could imagine he's psyops. So I'm gonna pick the specialty psyops. I could choose between intelligence, killer, and psyops, and I'm picking psyops, which
Okay.
means that he's better at convincing people. So
Mhm.
yeah, I could definitely see him as one who is meant to create assets. Definitely.
Okay.
Or a handler.
Or a
Yep.
handler. Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna have we'll say that it might come up in game, but if
Yeah.
something is you can have you might have some more insight on people, like because you're a full case officer, you have access to higher level of classified information, the stuff that's CIA only, that you may know stuff and I may throw you stuff low key that when you meet people or see things happen or whatever, I might throw you something about it so that you know.
Yeah. How about speaking a little bit of Polish?
Absolutely, you would. You're going to absolutely need to speak Polish for this mission, because because you're playing CIA. You're going to be. This is your mission, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of not in charge, but you're the CIA's representative in this mission, because you're going to
Yes.
be doing stuff that ties into military and CIA.
Okay. Like liaison, or
What's up?
So I'm a liaison, or is this the group I've been assigned to fulfill my mission? Or
You're Carl Weathers in the movie Predator.
too long ago since I saw that.
This
Yeah,
is your mission,
embedded.
but you're doing it with military.
Mhm.
And I'll brief. You don't know anything more than what you're going to get briefed with these guys, but
All right.
you, as play progresses, you may develop ulterior motives or not, or you know what I mean. You may be swayed
So
depending
you're the
on.
fucking android that we have to kill.
He's not.
right?
He's
Is
not
that-
the android. He's not the android. He does have a satellite phone though. Since you're a full case officer, in your gear, when we go to pick gear, you get a sat phone, and
Sat phone's still working?
this is how you communicate with like CIA Langley and stuff.
Mm.
Whether or not it stays working the entire time, well,
So okay.
that'll be on you to keep it
so
charged and keep it out from.
Slightly off topic, right? So I was
What's
standing outside in the garden, right, earlier, and it was sunny, and there was something. I saw a plane, right, and I saw something else. I was like, fucking hell, what the hell was that? That's really weird. I was like, I was squinting and squinting. I thought, is that a satellite? It looks like a satellite, the way it's like just drifting across the sky, but it's daylight. Well, how can I see it? Is it deorbited or something? No, it's a seagull.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I love
Just blame it
that
on
about, like,
COVID, James.
unidentified flying objects. It's like I immediately assume identify it that it's got to be an alien. it's got to be a UFO.
No, it was it was really high up, and it was like it was almost like the sun was like it was reflecting the sun, right? It was weird. It looked like metal from that.
High albedo on those seagulls.
Yeah. Like
But they do
flying
shit
rats.
everywhere, so
I hate them. My way, we went on vacation last year up north in Germany to the North Sea, and I grew up with seagulls. There's a whole bunch of them in that area because it's in the ocean. My wife's like, "Oh, they're so cute," and I'm like, "Get them out of here! They're rats with wings." And my wife was like, "What?" And I'm like, "No." Then by like day 4 or whatever, she's like, "Get these things out of here!" I'm like, "Yeah, they're." We watched one hop up to somebody. I'm like, "Hey, check this out! Look behind you! Look at those people got their picnic laid out. Watch the seagull walk right up and get the chips out of their bag." And the seagull hopped right up and started eating chips right out of the bag, and they didn't even know it. And I'm like, no, don't say anything. They're cute little animals, right? It was funny. All right, so that leaves us with Douglas type 1 each. You walk into the tent last. There's soup and coffee on your right. What does everybody see?
Grizzled, a little older, 32, but probably looks like he's pushing 40 because his unit was one of the first on the ground here, and they've been in basically nonstop combat ever since. He's with Joint Task Force 2, which is a Canadian Special Forces unit, sort of on par with SEAL Team 6 or the SAS. Their specialty is in asymmetrical warfare. So getting in behind enemy lines for infiltration, extraction, or disruption of enemy activities, demolition of facilities or infrastructure. There needs special forces, pretty much straight out of the book. So because he's been in country for a while, he's looking a little rougher around the edges. His name is Eckhart. We can roll for his rank. Actually, I did roll.
Yeah, you can choose a roll.
Oh, that's okay. He rolled a 6.
6. You're a master.
So that's Master Sergeant, which doesn't really have an equivalent in Canadian Armed Forces. So he'd probably be a warrant officer,
Cool.
which is sort of getting into the senior NCO ranks. And for someone who's a little older like him, that's not unreasonable. But again, in the work that he does, rank is basically irrelevant. Your reliance on your section, on your team, is really all about the skills that they bring and the discipline that they bring.
Yep.
You follow command structure to the extent that it's an issue when you're back at base, but in the field, everyone's just relying on everyone else. So he's a pretty hardened veteran, elite soldier, medium height, medium build, but hard for sure. And first generation Canadian. His folks came over from Germany, so he does speak fluent German. He's been JTF has been operating out of Lahr in Western Germany when things kicked off, but ever since he's been in and out across the battle lines.
Right.
So the fact that he's back for a cup of coffee here, he doesn't expect to be here more than a few hours before he's assigned somewhere else. Most of his unit is dead because, again, they were the first on the ground and have been in almost nonstop combat. So he's been assigned or tasked to this team to add a little tactical muscle.
All right. What was real quick? What was Trey? What's your character's name again? Black what?
Flagpole.
Black gold.
Flagpole, as in a tall dude. He's just called Flagpole.
Oh, flag. Yeah, got it.
Flagpole. Gotcha.
Okay.
Flagpole, yeah.
Yeah.
Something with my accent, or is
Yeah.
my
It's it's okay. The G's
You're
coming
good.
through as a K sound, but it's all good.
Oh,
Flagpole. That's a great CIA code name.
Can everyone type their names in the Roll20 chat? Not Roll20, Twitch chat. Not Twitch chat.
all right.
Somewhere where I can just cut and paste it, so I'm going to need to edit the overlays. I'm not muted.
Whoops,
No, I'm not
Blake
muted.
Parsons. I may have.
Where would you like that?
Zoom. No, not Zoom.
Discord.
Foundry?
Just chuck in
Foundry.
Foundry. Yeah, just
Yeah,
type
yeah,
into
cool.
Foundry. I'm just going to use. Alright, I'm just going to use the first bit. Do I need to put their ranks on? Is rank important?
No.
No.
That's not important. I mean, rank's not important until it is.
Yeah, typically
that's
in
silly.
the unit,
That's silly
you
to
refer-
say, but no one. in the context of this, you're all going to be treated like adults and professionals. You guys would never put yourselves in a position as, you know, professional soldiers doing non-standard operations and stuff. You guys would never put yourself in a position for someone to have to pull rank on you. Like the thing
And
that
frankly-
one of the big things that separates special forces away from conventional military is their ability to grasp and maintain the basics. So like you never have to tell like an SF guy to keep his weapon clean. Well, you don't have to tell any soldier to keep his weapon clean and stuff, but the difference in like training and tactics and shooting and stuff and like general soldiering, SF guys have that stuff nailed down. That all they do is train. They have the basics nailed down. So as long as you can have the basics nailed down, now we don't have to spend time teaching basics of room clearing and military operations, urban terrain. Now we can get into nitty gritty. Like this is how we're going to conduct this operation. This is the advanced stuff we're going to use. This is, you know, instead of having to teach these guys how to enter and clear a building every time we have to do a mission where we enter and clear buildings.
Right,
They're
cool.
used to operating autonomously, you know, within the confines of the team, away from formal command and control structure.
Right, cool. I'm going to update this during the break, all right? Because I don't want to be doing it now because it might just cause everything to just momentarily pause.
To wig out.
Within a unit, it's kind of like a hockey team. Everybody's either referred to by their last name or by their nickname. Flagpole would probably be called Flagpole or the Spook, quite literally. Parsons, Eckhart, and so on.
Are you military
if-
then? Are you ex-military then as well?
Yeah, not anywhere to the degree that that Nathan is, but yeah.
Oh, I'm not special, man.
No, you're not special, but you have a lot more time in than I did, and I was reserved, so it's like weekend warrior.
You got
So what we call? So would it be better to have like surnames rather than or nicknames, right?
No, I mean you'd call people by last name or first name. It depends. Like whatever the CIA introduced himself as when he came into the tent, or if you guys went to a briefing with him, if he said, "Hey, I'm John" or whatever, you just call him John. It wouldn't be a big deal. Or he's like, call me Flagpole. Everybody does. Then you just you're calling him Flagpole.
Flagpole.
Or Foxtrot Papa or something. You know what I mean? Somebody would think of something ridiculous because they want to say Flagpole. They'd probably call him Pole or something. I don't know. Flags, Flaggy. I don't know.
And in Poland, just going around calling him Pole is going to create confusion, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, I'll leave it as well. I'll just put character names.
All good.
That's cool. Yeah.
Do I want
You can refer to
change it?
whoever you want. Okay, so
I'll change it for next week.
how do I drag you guys over to a scene? Do I activate it?
Yeah.
Make sure you preload it though. Just okay.
Boom. I don't have to.
I can't see anything because I've got about 50 million windows open.
All right. What you're looking at? Yeah. So you enter the tent. Colonel Rigsby is a motley looking crew. All right. So we got a real conglomeration of different nationalities here, and that's good. And there's a reason for that. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This could be a hard mission. You're going to be dropped via parachute out of a shit hook over Kalisz.
What's a shit hook?
A shit hook is slang term for a Chinook helicopter.
Oh, okay.
It's those giant helicopters with the dual rotors. They're like their top speed's classified, but they're basically cargo helicopters. They're troop transports for cargo.
They're really noisy as well.
Not terribly noisy, they can be, but
Well,
I
they're
mean,
going to be
any
flying at a high
helicopter is
altitude, and
noisy.
they're going to drop the ramp about halfway down. You're going to bail out the back like a psycho with a
I
parachute.
don't
on.
know. Whenever I hear one flying over, I can definitely tell it's not a normal one.
All those movies where people are snuck up on by helicopters is absolute bullshit. You can hear them from a good long way off.
So as the Russian motor guards continue their push, trying to force us back out of Poland, it has come to our attention by the Masters of Intelligence that one Albin Wozniak, who was supposed to be extracted out of university in Lodz, was not actually at university. Go figure, it's World War III. He was visiting and staying with his family in Kalisz. Now, this is a very important person because Albin is in possession of, or is the inventor of, technology that can help the Allies get back on their feet and get back in this war, or get society restarted again. As you'll know, Operation Reset is what we're doing here. We're pushing east into Poland, but now the Soviets have decided to strike back, and we're in the process of trying to defend what we've gained so far. There's heavy fighting east of Kalisz, and we suspect by the time you're inserted into Kalisz, Russians could be in and amongst the objective of where you're going to be. So Albin has technology, or was developing technology at the University of Lodz, that he could basically daisy chain old chipsets and data chips together in order to harness processing power. So as you know, well, with the current nuclear situation, and the EMPs took out everybody's, like, basically power grid, computer networks, that type of stuff. With Albin's technology, which was going to be used as a means of communicating behind enemy lines in the Cold War, but now since this went hot, we can now use Linux, and a Linux operating system, his daisy chain old computer chips that we can salvage anywhere, pretty much, out of video game systems, older computers, the stuff that was turned off that didn't get EMP'd. And we can turn those into more powerful processing in order to develop chips in the future and restart society, basically. It is imperative that Albin be returned back to the Allies' hands. So his call sign for this operation is going to be Orchid. You're going to be dropped into the garden, which is going to be objective garden is Kalisz. You're going to be parachuted into, inserted by parachute by Shithook at Dark 30. You're going to land on objective Thorn, which I can't ping on the map, but you can see here. Mm-hmm. Objective Thorn is the Vista View Apartments. Don't ask me to pronounce it in Polish because I can't pronounce that name in Polish. But it's the Vista View Apartments. It's a 6-story apartment building. It's the tallest building in the area you're going to be dropped into. And you will enter and clear. You'll move to the 3rd floor, apartment 26. That's supposedly where his mother and his brother and sister are staying.
Apartment 26?
Apartment 26, 3rd floor, apartment 26.
Okay.
What we can gather from the apartment building, once you get in there, it's a bit of a maze. But you'll see when you get on the ground. You guys are pipe hitters. I think you can handle it. Once you have possession of Orchid, you're to move to the rendezvous point, Objective Rose. Objective Rose is slightly to the south and west, and it is like a mall shopping center. 101 military intelligence, 101 MI is going to have a unit inside the city. They're going to secure that parking lot and set up an alpha basically for you to extract you once you have Orchid in possession. So you can move by foot or by local transport, however you want to. If need be, you can get in touch with 101 MI. Their call sign is Gavel. You don't have to write this down if you don't want to. I'll let you all know. That's out of character. But your call sign for this operation is Razor. You're operating on frequency hop 314. And Gavel 6 is who you're going to contact should you need assistance. That's the company commander for 101 MI. Like I said, it should be straightforward. We're inserting you by helicopter because it's the fastest way to get you there. It is also the easiest way to put you onto the objective without the risk of encountering enemy forces. Normally, you get situation, mission, execution, services support, and combat, and or not combat, but command and signal. But you guys are operators, so you're getting a one-page course of action sketch, and you're getting a scheme and maneuver. You guys are big boys and girls. You can figure this out. You need anything? Go ahead and ask the quartermaster now. You'll proceed from here. You'll proceed over to the gear tent. You get situated with your equipment for the mission, and then you'll proceed over to Pale Rider. Pale Rider 1-6 is the call sign of the pilot that you're going to be. He's going to fly you over there. It's going to be a Chinook helicopter with an Apache escort. All right. Any questions?
So is Orchid going to be pleased to see us, or is this a kind of we're going to be dragging?
Yes, Orchid at one point knew that someone was coming to extract him. We don't know about now, but we do know of his whereabouts based on based on friends and family intel gathered on the ground at Lodz. The last we know, we lost contact with the intelligence operatives that we had in Lodz. So now we're going off the last known message was that he was with his parents with his family in Kalisz. Hence the ragtag last minute nature of this mission.
If we're
Colonel, you mentioned mother and sister.
What's up?
Sorry, Colonel, you mentioned his family. You mentioned his mother and sister expected to be at the apartment with him. Are they expected to be extracted as well?
I don't know. I prefer not. He may not go, though. He may not go without his family. I'll leave that up to you.
And comms, Colonel, SATCOM was down for a while after the strikes. Is that back up and running, or are we just running on local band?
No, we're running on. You run on Singars. You guys will have embitters. Each of you will have an embidder for this. Make sure when you're at the quartermaster, when you're at your tent, make sure you see the signal guys so they can fill your radios.
Fucking jargon.
Embidder is a small black radio, and it's got you'll have a little mic. You won't have a badass throat mic because that shit don't happen until mid 2000s. So what you're gonna have is you'll have a handset, basically it looks like a phone with a button on it that you could talk to, and you'll have a walkie-talkie type thing. You might get lucky and have an earpiece, but I'm not going to give you one because you'll have to turn your radio down if you don't want people to hear it. But basically, you're all getting your own radio. It's a little handheld. You'll have a long whip antenna with it that you can weave through basically your gear to kind of keep it not like a flag that sticks over a wall and says, "Here I am, shoot me." You'll have it taped up unless you need to extend it. Basically, military radios work like this. They have frequency hop technology. So radios get loaded with crypto, and then they hop frequencies.
Cryptocurrency.
Every so many. What's up?
Yes, we're talking via Bitcoin.
Yeah, they hop. They're encrypted. It's a crypto radio transmission, and it hops frequencies every 5 seconds. So your radio has to be within time of the actual crypto that's loaded. If it's out of time more than 5 seconds, it'll hop frequencies too late. You won't be able to hear anybody. Nobody will be able to hear you because everybody's radio is hopping frequencies at the exact same time, and it's hopping different frequencies. And that's how military encryption radios work. It's not like SAT radios are different. I don't know how SAT radios work. I know how a Harris works, but I know intimately the struggles with the Singars-based radios.
If there's any consolation, when I was in, we were still using the Tonka truck radio packs from the Korean War.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. We were the PR-177. Well, we were using Singars. Embitter's like a pregnant 126. It's they're really cool.
It works out to be a small handheld unit with a transmitter packed in your gear.
Yeah, you can talk to everybody except aircraft, basically.
Is that
we got limited effective range of 10 miles.
Is that it? Is that it right there?
Is that it for what? No, that's not it.
This is a field telephone. You actually draw the cord out between two.
Yeah, it's an MSRT.
Point-to-point communication, but
that's a little older.
Actually, I got two of these with 500 meters of cable.
No, I
about
like
military?
my military experience was I was in the Boy Scouts for half a day and got sent home as a menace.
That's
Like
okay.
I know nothing. This
Sorry,
is
Tom,
great.
you're too tall for the Boy Scouts.
Yeah. It's my toggle was intimidating.
We have a question in
yeah.
chat though, Nathan.
What's the question?
If we're going to in via Halo, are we parachuting in or rappelling?
You're not going in by Halo. You're parachuting in. So you're gonna jump from.
No, hello, as in helicopter.
Heli, yeah, helicopter
Oh.
insertion.
Yeah, you're not. No, you're not going to. So Chinook helicopter pilots. Most military helicopter pilots are badass, and they'd be able to hover, and they'd be able to put. You might not even. They might just put the ramp on the building and just keep the thing hovered with the ramp just on the edge of the building. You can just run off and get on the roof. But because of the combat environment that you're in, no Chinook pilot is going to hover over a city at building top level just waiting to get shot down. Particularly with the way that how rare aircraft is. Hence, it's flying at 13,000, or no, you're flying at probably 1,300 feet. And you're going to bail out. You'll bail out at 13.5 rather than.
How high is a Halo?
Oh, so high you need oxygen.
Oh, okay.
Like to 30,000 feet, 25,000 feet.
By the way, do you guys know what you call a guy flying a helicopter?
What's up?
A pilot?
Do you know what you call a guy flying a helicopter?
It's a joke.
Bus driver.
You call him a pilot. Do you know what you call a guy flying a fighter plane?
What? Pilot.
Computer geek at 10,000 feet.
Computer geek said those. By the way, helicopters don't fly. They beat the air into submission.
That's right. With a 1,300 foot drop point, we're pulling chute pretty much right out of the gate. There's no sort of extended free fall here.
13.5 is 13.5 is about.
So I'm zoning out with the whole jargon.
I'm sorry.
Are we parachuting in or are we rappelling in?
You're parachuting in.
Okay.
The chopper isn't going to pause for us to rappel, because it'd just be a very large sitting duck for
a tank
anybody
can shoot
running
it down
around.
if it's a guy with a guy that's a really good shot with an AK could shoot it down.
This is considered a hot zone, right? So,
right, what do we have to do? Right, okay, so we're still in this briefing, right?
Yeah, you just the Colonel Rigsby, is task force commander. He says, "So you guys have any questions?"
Yeah, Parsons just looks at Eckhart and mouths, "Do we have any questions?" Because
we have an ETA before the front reaches this sector.
About 6 hours.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah,
we need to get the Orchid out. Is that by any means possible?
Yes. It is imperative that he does not fall into Soviet hands.
All right.
Or enemy hands, for that matter.
Fine.
You should be extracting him as well as his research.
Mm-hmm.
Although we don't know, we don't have any information on the ground as to where that is. We're assuming, we're hoping that it's with him, but you know what happens with military assumptions.
And extraction is expected to be by what means?
By foot or by civilian asset that you can commandeer over to Objective Rose, and then you'll load up on wheeled vehicles in exfil with Gavel with 101 MI, okay. And they'll bring you back to this location.
Roger that.
Next session, I'll throw a map up. Well, I can throw it up here also, but
anything we need to know in terms of rules of engagement?
Do we get any artillery support just to satisfy someone in chat?
Someone's been reading Twitch chat. No, you don't have any artillery support. You don't have priority of fires. Priority of fires are for maneuver commanders on the ground.
This is meant to be a low-profile mission. Get out.
You're being inserted in amongst the defense of Kalisz. So, I mean, you can absolutely call for fire, but priority of fires is with the commanders on the ground.
Are we expected to encounter any friendlies?
Yeah, the friendly battle lines are in Kalisz, but we won't know the state when mission time, when it comes time to execute RP or SP. We won't know what the state of the defense is in. That's why you're all issued radios, and hopefully you can stay up to date. Gavel 6, you should make contact with Gavel 6. They're leaving 2 hours before your chopper flight. So that accounts for drive time and for them to set up their little checkpoint at objective rows.
Rules of engagement.
Rules of engagement are as per this, as per the war. There's no special rules of engagement.
So try and avoid civilian casualties. But,
yeah, always. Yeah, don't fire. Well, no, you can fire. If you see, we'll briefly go over rules of engagement because you guys as players wouldn't know, which your characters would know. So if you see enemy forces, it's up to you if you want to engage or not. Anything in uniformed, Russian uniformed or Polish sympathetic or sympathizers, they're shoot on sight. You don't need any permission to engage them. You just engage, engage at will. Whether or not you want to engage, though, you got to make sure that's it's within the, you have to figure out if it's within your mission, within your interest. Your interest is to get this guy out and stay alive. So you might not want to engage unless you have to. In real world conflict, we have something that we call combat calculus, and combat calculus is how many rounds a minute versus how many rounds a minute can we fire versus how much ammo are we carrying. And you just do the math. If nobody gets shot and we're all shooting and trying to get out of the worst situation that we could find ourselves, how many minutes do we have of bullets, basically? He who fires first and fires the most bullets usually wins. And the unit that coordinates their actions the best has the biggest chance of succeeding. But we'll see how the game rules shake out too. So yeah, you're going to be you basically, if you have to engage something, you don't want to ever get in a gunfight 50-50. Particularly in this game, if you're shot at in this game and surprised, you should be breaking contact. You should be leaving the enemy. You shouldn't be sticking it out and fighting. You should be like, we'll go someplace else. And then when they have to break rank and chase you, then you can stop and set up an ambush and ambush them. You might have a mission in real life where it's like, hey, listen, move to make contact with the enemy, make contact, move and destroy them. That's not your guys' mission here. Here, you guys are trying to extract somebody, and you
do
don't
not have a full platoon in support. There are four
exactly.
of us.
Yeah. Another good tip we'll get into later. Another good tip though is if you're maneuvering, if you're moving, you have somebody covering for you. So like the smallest element you need to move safely is a 2-man team. So one person covers while the other person moves. That way, anybody opens fire on you, whatever, you can just sprint to cover, and the person who's watching can open fire and shoot at the people shooting at you.
And you move short distances, move to cover, then cover the next guy.
Yep. Ideally, you want to throw smoke. If you're just leaving an area, you'll throw smoke and then wait for the smoke to billow, and then peace out in another direction where they can't see you moving.
That's if we're under fire or in enemy contact.
Okay, so no further questions. You guys can beat feet over to the supply tent. Make sure you guys get some chow. You got about 4 hours before you have to be on the ready line, and then then you got 2 hours of checks and stuff, and then you guys will launch. No further questions. Go ahead and unask my AO, and good luck. And we'll see you on the battlefield. So you leave the tent and you're immediately kind of shucked over to an area which has a bunch of shipping containers and other tents where there's equipment. Now you all have personal weapons, and we'll get into what weapons you guys have, but you're going to get additional equipment and stuff for this mission as well. So pop over to character creation again. Boom, 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 boom. That's not what I want. I want this. Nope, that's not what I want. Okay. what we're going to do right now is we're going to assign our attribute ranks. So under the archetypes tab, for archetype character creation on number step 5, we determine our attributes. You start with a baseline of C in all 4 attributes. You then make 3 increases of 1 step each up to A. You can increase any attribute you want. You can gain 1 extra increase by decreasing 1 attribute from C to D. What those letters mean are the die size for the dice pool that you're going to roll. So a rating of A is a D12, a rating of B is a D10, a C is a D6, and a D is a D4. Or excuse me, D8, and then a D6. D is a D6.
And for those new to the engine, a 6 or higher, depending on the die you're rolling, is a success. Multiple successes allow you to do more interesting things, but rolling a 6 on a D6, it's a challenge. You've got a pool, so you're rolling multiple dice and hoping to hit 6s. Anybody who's played Aliens, everything's D6s, so it's that kind of feel. But it gives you an idea for how having bigger dice increases the number of successes you can generate.
And anything 8 and up is counts as 2 successes. Or no, is it 10 and up? Yeah. Anything 10 and up counts as 2 successes. So in this game, you're going to be rolling an attribute die and a skill die. And that's anywhere like 2 D8s, a D10, and a D8. If you're assigned a minus or a plus to the roll, you're going to take one of those dice. So if you get a +1 to a roll and you have a D8 attribute and a D8 skill, and you get a +1 to your roll, you're going to bump one of those dice up 1 level. So you roll a D10 and a D8.
So you said we had 3 levels we can add?
Everything is a C, and you have 3 increases.
Okay. And you can gain an additional increase by dropping something down to a D.
Yeah. If you want to drop something down to D, you can get another increase up.
So I can't actually see the page for Archetype Gunner, but I'm assuming agility and strength are the primary useful things, right?
Your primary
Strength for heavy weapons.
strength for heavy weapons, yes.
Okay, cool.
You're rolling that rather than ranged combat, right? Ranged combat is small arms.
Oh.
Yep, assault rifles and under. Heavy weapons is machine guns and up, like
It's-
machine guns, rocket
It's
launchers,
working
grenade
now,
launchers.
though. If you click on the archetypes now, they should open.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
Nathan's
we
fixed it.
Nathan's figured that. So the links in the compendium should work. But if you're in your character sheet, you can make the changes right in the.
I still
in the
can't
live
see
doc.
the specialties though, Nathan. Like
All right,
combat
let me look at
medic, field
specialties.
surgeon. Sorry, I'm being a pain, but
No, you're not. You're all right.
All
Make sure the
important.
permission says owner. I'm trying to make everybody owner for everything, so you can click the links and see everything.
Great.
you don't need to make us owner. Just need to make us observers.
Yeah.
So
Because I want you guys to be able to look through combat damage stuff too, weapons and gear.
Oh,
it's amazing to have all these resources available digitally, but there's definitely a learning curve for a GM, especially a new GM
Yeah.
with the system who's also new to Foundry. You can expect some challenges while you get things set up and customized the way you need.
Yep. Travel. We're gonna get into the travel rules as well, but
Okay.
that won't be until like session 2 or maybe even 3 or 4.
Okay, I've decided. I didn't lower anything. I just put 3 stats at B. And that was agility, intelligence, and empathy.
Eckhart's B in strength and intelligence, D in empathy, A in agility. So focus on mobility and ranged combat.
Cool.
I chose a B in agility, B in empathy, A in intelligence, and then I dropped down my strength to be able to get that A in intelligence. And then I'm gonna focus. I'm gonna have a little bit of ranged combat, and then of course persuasion, maybe some survival and recon. Definitely recon.
So yeah, strength A, agility B, intelligence C, empathy C. Is that right? Because it's 2. You go up 2 to get from a C to an A. That's right, isn't it? So you just
Yep,
essentially
right.
have 3 increased. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think that fits.
Okay, so we're also real quick while we're on these. We're gonna determine hit and stress capacity. So your hit capacity equals the sum of the die size of your strength and agility divided by 4. So if your strength die size is a D8, then it's going to be 8, and your agility is a D8 as well. That's going to be 8, so it'd be 16 divided by 4, and that'll be your hit capacity.
Sorry, what?
Hit capacity equals the sum of the die size of your strength and agility divided by 4, rounding fractions up.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's done that
It's done.
automatically.
Yeah.
Did it do it automatically? Sweet. Awesome.
Yeah. Although it's interesting, it's showing as having 2 hits already taken.
Yeah.
So I've got 4 of 6.
Yeah, I noticed the same thing. It calculates it, but then
You-
everything
you
you
may-
get above 4, it marks off.
Oh.
But it's apparently right click and left click to add
Yeah.
and remove stress.
Yeah. You guys
Is anyone gonna take driving?
Are we doing
I was
skills?
considering it for my 4th, my D skill.
Hang on, how many skills do are we on to skills? Have I missed
We're not on
one?
the skills yet. No.
No,
Oh,
we're jumping
sorry.
again.
Also, I'm going to stress one of the rules. Well, I'll get into that when we. I'll get into that when we do a little bit later. We'll take it step by step.
Does an underslung grenade launcher count as heavy weapons or ranged combat?
Let me look real quick. I want to say it's heavy weapons, but hold on a sec.
Please note that throwing grenades is mobility and not range combat.
Good.
That took one of my friends off off guard. He thought he did a grenade throwing guy with lots of range combat, lots of grenades, and then he couldn't do jack when he first hit combat.
Skill uses heavy weapons. Yep. I would say
Okay.
you could use ranged combat for it though.
You can house rule it.
Yeah. We can house rule it. It's yeah, we'll house rule it because it's attached to a. It's very easy to use a 203.
Yeah.
It's really easy. If you fire it a couple times, it's really easy to get good with it. I mean, some people can't get good. It's a fun weapon to use. It's
It's
fun.
learning indirect fire is a bit of a challenge for folks, but being able to gauge where that thing is going to land, and if you're trying to get an arc rather than direct fire into an adjacent room.
Yeah, but like anything, once you, my guys were lethal with that stuff.
Yeah.
I had a gunner who could he'd put it wherever you want. He'd flip a leaf side up. It just leaf side up on his weapon. He'd put the smoke grenade wherever you wanted to. My platoon had an SOP that whenever we received fire from the enemy, that like the second grenade fired or the first thing that the 203 gunner did was fire green smoke at the enemy, so that the whole platoon immediately knew where the fire was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So if we were stretched out, we didn't have to like get on a radio or anything. You saw green smoke, that's where the bad guys are. But you can, it's easy to get good with it. Close. Okay. All right. So you guys move into the quartermaster tent, into the supply area, the hasty supply depot. Let's look at, nope, close. I don't want to look at the spook. I want to look at character creation. And we're going to look at equipment. So each of your archetype has like equipment that that you can take. So for instance, Tom,
Mm-hmm.
the gunner. So at the bottom of your archetype, if you click to your archetypes, it says what you have for equipment. Everybody, you have this equipment, but you're going to get more ammo, and we're going to pick weapons. What weapons you guys have actually? So for instance, just looking at the gunner real quick, you have a light machine gun appropriate for your nationality. So do you want an M240 Bravo? You want a 7.62 millimeter machine gun, or do you want like a squad automatic weapon?
I'm open to receiving advice.
Are you
What ammo is
hardcore
the-
machine gunner, or do you want a light machine gun that's really mobile?
What's the saw chambered for?
It's chambered for 5.56.
Same
anyone-
same rounds as the M16
16.
range.
So it
Five,
moves.
five, six.
Well, part of me goes, I would love to be the kind of idiot who blows everything up. I kind of feel that if I've been with this team for any period of time, if I've been sent on this mission, that I'm gonna like have machine guns that are going to be better at kind of not just make the biggest possible explosion, but some kind of precision and better in cramped streets. Is
So
that
your
kind of fair
squad
assessment?
your squad automatic weapon, or the for a unit this size, bring on a machine gun. Your role is suppression, right?
Okay,
You're
cool.
you're putting a lot of fire downrange to keep the enemy's heads down, so the rest of the elements in your unit can advance and take them out. But mobility is key for this mission. When you're equipping yourselves, you're arming yourself for the mission you're expecting to do and the kind of resistance you're expecting to
Great.
encounter.
Hmm.
So
This feels a little
so-
bit like being at a posh restaurant and ordering the seafood and not knowing which wine to go for. So, sommelier, which of these beautiful choice weapons would you recommend would pair well?
The
A 240
saw.
Bravo would make sense from my perspective, Nathan, for this. But
Yeah, just basically because it could cut people in half.
Great.
I would the saw, because also don't underestimate the utility of using the same ammunition. You can pass around ammunition if somebody's getting low.
Yeah. And it is lighter.
light and mobile is good. Not having to spend a lot of time setting up is good.
Yeah, and your parachuting. And I don't think the Mark 48 kits have been invented yet. So it's not like you can have like a shoulder fired 240. Like you have to deploy the bipod and use it. And I mean, you have to with all light machine guns in this game, but the saw is definitely more mobile.
Okay, cool.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
A saw is a squad automatic weapon. In the weapons chart, it is the M249. I think it's labeled as M249.
Where do I find the weapons chart?
Look on the player manual, scroll down to
M2.
section 5.
M249, you said, yeah?
There's a M429. Yeah, it's based on 99 if you have the book.
What's the British one that they fucking hate? What's the really bad rifle that British use?
I mean, the assault rifle, they don't like the Enfield.
I thought
But,
I thought the rifle was the ball, whatever. Is
The
it
what?
What were they using? Came in around the same time as the FAS.
in
with
the
France.
80s, weren't it? I think they brought them in. They were just terrible.
Yeah, that's the
Is it the
LE
SA
the LE86.
That's the one.
It's the bullpup Enfield. Yeah.
Oh, that. What was it?
So-
Advanced combat rifle or the?
Yeah. So you have an M249 LMG.
I don't think that's in the game.
Cool.
I don't know if you can drag and drop that stuff or if you could just drag and
I
drop it on
think-
your character sheet.
Because there's
What's-
nothing in the items, like in the briefcase menu. I haven't got anything in there yet. But like on most games, you can drag from there onto the sheet.
Oh, let me see. Where is the briefcase thing?
Oh no, I've done it. I've been able to do it from the weapons sheet. I just dragged across.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Right, so what?
All right.
Hang on.
Problem solved.
So would I be using an American gun rather than a British gun?
Yeah, you would have ditched your Enfield at the first opportunity and picked up an M4.
An M4?
Yeah, it's a carbine's a little more compact than the M16s. Fires the same round. You know, it's basically the only thing it gives up is a bit of range.
Yep.
If you want like mechanics wise balance tip, the carbines, because if you don't use a fast action to aim a rifle or carbine, you get a -2 on a rifle and -1 on a carbine. So if you're firing and moving, you lose another die step from carrying a rifle, whereas a carbine, you only lose 1 die step. And we are parachuting in if you want a story reason.
All right.
Take an M4.
It says you start the game with pistol and SMG. What does that mean?
Yeah, you're not going to start with a pistol. You start with an M4. You'll start with a pistol too, but instead of an SMG, you'll start with the M4. Unless you want a submachine gun. Do you want a submachine gun?
No.
Yeah, you don't want to fight a battle with a submachine gun. Trust me.
What sort of pistol would I have?
You'd have a Beretta, an M9.
Right.
Yeah.
I was wondering if I could go for a Glock.
Yeah, if you want a Glock, you can have a Glock. You're CIA. You have whatever you
Probably a
want.
gun nut. He's
He's CIA. He's got a Glock.
They're just called in the game. They're just called police pistol.
Yeah, you have you basically, whoever's got a pistol has a pistol, just so you don't have to fist fight or knife anybody. Rather than having to punch someone, you just.
I've used that M2249. I've used that in Battlefield 2, I think.
Yeah. Heck yeah. In the British military, they call it the Mini. It's called the Minimi, I think.
Is that because we give everything nicknames?
No, it's just it's under your nomenclature. It's called the Minimi, I think. And then the British Army guys just shorten it to Minis. It's a Belgian machine gun to begin with, anyway.
Fabrique Nationale,
What's up?
the Belgian arms manufacturer, the FM
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Fabrique Nationale. All right. So that is, if you have an assault rifle, you have 7 magazines of ammo, 210 rounds. So you're going to have 1 magazine in and 6 spare mags. Write that on your character sheet as well. If you have a pistol, you have 3 mags total. So 1 in the gun and 2 spare. If you have a machine gun, you're going to have 600 rounds. So that's 6 belts of ammo if you want to write that down, but you have 600.
Cool.
Your normal combat load's 800, but hey, line
use
units
a
took
rock.
all the ammo. You have 600. What's up, James?
Nothing. It's got stats
That-
for a rock.
Stats for rock. Yeah. It may come down to that. What if I just hit him with this rock? Well, roll. It's 1 damage. Okay, so the spook,
Yep.
Gray Storm. It says you have a pistol.
Yeah. I was thinking about police pistol.
Take the police pistol.
It's a polymer frame pistol.
Yep. Striker fired modern polymer frame pistol. So the operator, Douglas's character, and the spook have suppressors for their weapons if they want them. So
Absolutely.
if you want a suppressor for your pistol, you can have it. If you want a suppressed SMG, or you want a suppressed carbine or assault rifle or sniper rifle, you can. Same thing with Douglas. Your character can have a suppressed sniper rifle or
Yeah.
a suppressed assault rifle if you want.
I'm leaning towards the M21 as a good balance of range and rate of fire.
There are not
Yes.
many SMGs in the book though.
There's a
There is Russian, which is also Polish, and then there is the Israeli. That's Uzi.
You could that's kind of dope. It's kind of gangster. It's something
Yeah,
CIA
very.
would have. Is it rolling around with an Uzi?
I think an M4 carbine with a suppressor.
Okay.
How do we indicate suppressor on this?
I think just to add it is one of the. It's a piece of equipment.
Is there
Just. What's up, James?
Is there a gear so that I can just drag a magazine onto my character sheet and keep track of it that way?
I don't know if it's a magazine, but let me see the character sheet real quick. Let me look at your character sheet. Because we'll combat, coolness under fire, head, arms, torso, injuries, diseases, starving conditions. Nope. Gear. Knife M4. Fatigues backpack. It's under ammunition. Hit the plus arrow. Is magazine, ammo. Okay, so under your under ammunition on your character sheet,
Yeah.
under gear,
Yeah.
click down. Notes is for you to write stuff. Features. So
'Cause
James.
there is magazines. I can see some magazines. I just don't. It says .40. I don't know what this is. It's all gibberish to me.
3 mags. 3 mags. Enter. Close. That's what I gave you. New ammunition 3. Okay.
What's an M4? What sort of what?
So
what
5.56 NATO.
5.56? Yeah.
Yeah, 5.56 millimeters. It's basically like a long
Is it
22.
30 or 25 round mag?
30
Or is it
round mag.
50. Okay, but there's that.
Oh, new ammunition. Cool. Let's go with pistol mags. Boom. Close.
There's
All
probably
right, cool.
pistol things on here.
Yeah, I put under the thing. I put pistol mags.
What size is an M9?
It's 15 rounds.
No, but what? .45?
No, 9mm. Sorry.
All right, let me have a look.
9mm. Because as tedious as this is, we will be tracking ammo.
9 by
Sorry, you said-
18.
Definitely part of the game.
Yeah, but 9x18.
You
And
said full load.
How many in the mag?
15.
Oh, it doesn't go that small.
You said full load plus 2 reloads, right?
No, you're gonna have 7 mags for an assault rifle and 3 magazines per pistol.
Okay.
So 210 rounds total for the assault rifle, and
Do we have
then
a
if it's an M9, it's 45 rounds. What's up, James?
That's for everyone, or
Yeah, if you have a pistol, you got 3 mags.
Okay.
Unless you're CIA, you want to have more magazines. You're one of those guys that carries like 8 mags for your pistol.
no? He's a talker more.
Okay, cool.
Like he has it to shoot people's brains out if they get cocky, but
Do you want a different pistol than the Glock? Do you want a Makarov? You want a silenced Makarov?
I'd have to Google that. Makarov.
So if
Standard
you're
issue
ice
Russian
people, it looks like
fighter.
the Soviets did it. Or do you think you want, let's just say, do you want a PM or do you want a Makarov, a silenced Makarov in addition to the pistol and the assault rifle? Do you think your character would have a silenced Soviet weapon on him for like dealing with people? And okay.
No, I don't.
got
I,
7
Also because he's a wee bit patriotic, so I think it would be against his.
Okay.
Like if he had to infiltrate a double agent, and sure he would, but
Gotcha.
for this, I don't think he sees any need for it. It's just the whole idea. I think back in the day when polymer guns came out first, there was all this idea about they could cheat metal detectors.
Yeah, that was because of Die Hard 2.
Yeah,
As
and
you said, Glocks were made out of porcelain. They're not.
it's a ceramic barrel or something like that. Weird ass,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's I think he likes gear. I like gear.
Yeah.
So I'm
The
taking
gun, you may be able to make I think Glock does make a gun that can it's ceramic, but the bullets aren't ceramic.
Nope.
So they're setting a metal detector off. So yeah. Okay, M21. You don't have 210 rounds because you have 20-round magazines. But you still have 7 mags, Douglas.
Yeah, I got
Alright.
140 rounds.
Oh,
What's
I
up?
still can't
140,
open half the shit.
Hold on a sec. Let me go back and see if you can access it.
Pain relievers. I can't look at surgical. So I got pain relievers or surgical instruments. What do I want?
It depends on what type of medic you are.
Yeah, but I don't know what they do.
Oh.
Game-wise.
Surgical instruments are for cutting people open. Pain relievers are for, hey, here's some Motrin or here's some opium.
One or the other. One or the other. So you can either cut people open. Or
Yeah, you
give them
cut
pain
people, or
medicals.
you could have both if you want. You have surgical instruments. You have like a little wallet of surgical like tools, and you have like some. Just say you have painkillers. So you get an assortment of Motrin, morphine, fentanyl lollipops, that type of stuff. If you just put like painkillers, you just you got like a 1-gallon Ziploc bag of like goodies for like Doc, I broke my foot. Here, take this, take 2, and drive on, hero. Move out, draw fire. Like, I broke my ankle on parachuting onto this roof that the DM made me do. Like, well, I'm all out of splints, so I hope you could speak Russian. So, look at your also at your everyone gets under equipment. Everyone gets a radio. You don't have to write down like SINGARs, frequency hop, cryptology. You don't have to write any of that. Just write radio.
How many grenades did you say?
2 apiece, if you want them. If you want to carry them. 2 hand grenades, and everybody can take 2 smoke apiece if you want them as well.
Yeah.
What's an ATRL? So on the gunner's sheet it says 5 hand grenades or an ATRL with 2 rounds.
Yeah, it's an anti-tank rocket launcher. I would take 5 hand
Like
grenades.
the little pop too.
Okay.
You don't want to jump with an AT4 and a machine gun. You're gonna break both your ankles when you hit the ground. ATRL.
Look at us
yeah, you
fucking
guys
just
can-
filling up.
I mean, it's
your
cool.
fucking-
If you want an ATRL, you can have it.
No, I'm open to
Yeah.
advice.
Also,
We got
so I
a radio.
what's up?
We got a radio,
Yeah, radio.
Yeah.
a hand radio.
A what?
What radio we got?
Oh, what does it say on the?
What?
Let's look at gear real quick.
Didn't say anything for that for me.
Communications gear, range, military radios. Oh, cool. It's got it there. The 148 embedder. That's what you have.
148.
Yeah, PRC 148 embedder. It's under military radios. It's the first radio written on there.
Got it.
Developed by SOCOM for primary use of Special Operations Force in the early 1990s. It's a 10-kilometer range.
Got
Also,
fun.
your radios, if you're about to be taken prisoner by the Russians, you destroy your radio. That's like the last thing. It's the last thing you do before you have to like run it, before you run out of ammo, whatever. You're going to want to destroy your radio first. Or before you have to like, get in on it get in a hand-to-hand range or whatever. Or you think you might be taken prisoner. You don't have to like destroy it. You can just zero it out. So there's a button combination you can hit and zero your radio out. You can't do it by accident. It's got to be done intentional. And you dump the cryptology and the fill out of it so nobody can take it and use it. It's basically a paperweight after you zero it out. All right, so everybody has a Kevlar helmet and a plate vest. Regardless of what it says, if it says flak vest or whatever, you have a helmet and a plate vest. CIA, if you want a baseball cap, you can wear a baseball cap if you want. Or if anybody wants to be a smart ass and wear like a Cox University hat or whatever with their kit, go ahead and wear whatever. But if you want a helmet, you can have a helmet and a plate vest.
So what we got? Kevlar helmet or a steel helmet?
Kevlar helmet.
Okay.
I think I need a little. I've been sitting here entering gear from the book, but is there a way to add it?
Just
Yeah.
drag.
Yeah, you can drag and drop it onto your character sheet from the actual manual.
From the active memories, which is under.
But a lot of things like bipods, night vision sight, stuff like that doesn't drag. It's not set up as a draggable element.
Flat jacket. So it's not a flat jacket I'm wearing.
You're not wearing a flak jacket, you're wearing a plate vest.
Late. What's the difference?
It's 2 armor, but more importantly, a flak jacket won't stop a bullet. But a
It's
plate
for
vest,
low velocity shrapnel.
yeah, a plate vest will. A plate vest is like your standard bulletproof vest with a Kevlar reinforced Kevlar plate slid down the front. In the
I've done my
90s, they're
gear.
not sexy like they are now. In the 90s, they're these big, gigantic, like if you watch the movie Black Hawk Down,
Yeah.
that's the type of vest they're wearing. It's a plate vest with a square plate with one corner's cut out, where you put your weapon in your shoulder because the plates are so big. That's what you're wearing.
Is that standard issue in the U.S. military?
It is now. Plate vests are standard issue now, but when I was in, you only got it when you deployed.
Okay.
And we were only issued, I think, is when we deployed to Kosovo in '99. Most of us in the battalion got issued Ranger vests, got issued plate vests.
Yeah.
How many?
But there were some
magazines-
units that worked with us that didn't. They just wore flak vests.
Hmm.
Yeah. 'Cause
Did
they
you
weren't
have-
widespread back then.
Did you have? You didn't use optical sights in Kosovo, did you?
Yep. We had like red dots on our weapons
Okay.
as early as 1999, which you guys are going to have it too, but I'm going to give you some other stuff too.
Oh, it's just one of my friends who deployed to Kosovo to apparently Danish soldiers had a standard issue at that time, and then he said like it wasn't all Americans that had it, and they were very jealous of it.
Yeah, infantry units had it. We were also in Kosovo in '99. That's when the first time we were fielded the M240 Bravo machine gun. Lots of like the airborne units had it already, and it
Okay.
hadn't filtered to a lot of German units. But when we deployed to Kosovo, they gave us like plate vests, took our M60s away, and gave us M240 Bravos. It kind of updated everything to what everybody was using, the newest stuff that everybody was using. But
In terms of this
so plate,
unit or this squad, we're sort of getting the pick of the litter in terms of gear because there's only 4 of us, and because this is a mission critical
yeah,
pop.
Yep.
So we're getting the best of the line of what they've been able to scrounge together.
everyone also has night vision goggles
Because
or not.
we're going in ODARC 30, so we got 5.5 hours. I don't know what time of year this is, but assuming it's like
I don't know. We'll
You
say
can
it's
drag night vision
spring or
goggles
fall.
onto your cat sheet. I just did it.
yeah.
cool.
No, yeah, they're. I was looking at the list earlier, but some things like bipods and stuff and suppressors weren't coming in.
Apparently, I'm now carrying too much stuff.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
You see, there's a little thing. You can store stuff in your backpack. That's what I've just did.
Yeah, you can select equipped versus backpack.
Yeah.
Um,
The machine gunner's got everything loaded on his vest.
Yeah.
Ah!
Protective
Seems
gear. Is this a hot zone in terms of radiation?
Yeah, everybody in the tent just groans because no one likes wearing mop gear.
That sucks.
It's not a hot zone for radiation, no.
Okay.
And you're not going to be issued mop gear anyway. We'll say all the line units have it in case they get slimed. Everybody has.
What are we going after ghosts now? Are we expected to encounter like Slimer? Is that what you? I don't understand.
No, getting slimed means getting hit with chemicals.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's only a matter of time till Free League gets that license. So
They're working
Exactly
through.
right.
yeah,
Ghostbusters.
the Ghostbusters RPG will be back, and it will be based on Year Zero.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everybody's got night vision goggles. Everybody has max ammo. Everybody has a plate vest a Kevlar. You all have some sort of knife.
Yeah.
You don't
Pull
have
out
a
knife.
you don't have bayonets, but you have a knife. You don't have to worry about it putting on your sheet if you don't want to, or just write it in, or if you can find it, just put a combat knife on there. It can be anything. So a folding pocket knife, a Leatherman, like a multi-tool or whatever, you can use it as a combat knife. I don't care. Some sort of sharp piece of metal that you found on the ground, you want to stick in some Russian guy's neck, that's cool too. It's all going to have the same stats because you can use basically any knife as a knife. And any you guys basically have you guys have a lighter, a knife, and you have 550 cord on you pretty much at all times.
I like that.
Explain 550 cord.
550 cord is parachute cord, like the stuff that like guys' bracelets are made out of, or you could tie anything down with it. It can suspend up to 550 pounds, which is why it's called 550 cord.
So the field rations, would they be like MREs, right? Or is that not been invented yet?
Nope, you've got MREs. Let me see, how many would you have?
This is like a 6-hour opera.
Wait,
yeah, you'd have one MRE a piece.
Oh, I've got 7 or 5.
Do you want to? You can bring 5 if you want.
Well, no, because it said because I just went off the equipment I had. It says 5 field rations.
Okay.
Oh,
cool.
yeah. In the default archetype, it gives you some basic stuff.
Yeah, take that basic stuff as well. Take whatever basic stuff is on your archetype plus whatever I'm giving you, like upgrade the flak vest to plate vest.
Right.
Oh, well, I don't really want to walk around with 2 armors, right? That's right.
No, you don't.
Right.
You ditch the flak vest to some other support unit. CIA, if you want thermals. If you want a thermal weapon sight or a thermal handheld thermal unit, you can have that as well if you want.
Oh.
And you have a baby Paz, like a Paz 13. I don't know where it's listed. Let me see if I can find a thermal.
So how will a telescopic sight on a rifle work?
Actually, wait, don't you don't have thermals? Sorry, you don't have thermals.
It's super good.
Yeah, it is super good.
We ended up by my first trial session when my friend bought the game. We were 2 guys against 4, but I was a machine gunner with night vision goggles, so we just detected night and we just
that's what. You also have a what, James?
Do we have a Jeep?
No, you don't have a Jeep.
We're parachuting in.
Yeah,
I mean, if you can carry the Jeep.
They could drop the Jeep. I've got some World War II.
You can airdrop a Jeep, yeah. They're not gonna though.
They want to keep their vehicles.
Telecop Sky gives you +1 modifier if you aim as a slow action, +2 if you fire from a stable platform such as a rest, sandbag, or bipod.
Yeah.
Do we need binoculars?
No.
Oh.
Binoculars are like a heavy piece of kit that nobody would carry.
What about a BGM 71 TOW?
You do not have a
missile. No.
You don't have a tube launched optically tracked wire guided missile. You don't have one of those. That's what TOW
We're not
stands
expected to do a lot of tank busting on this.
How about a mistletoe?
No, you don't have any mistletoe.
No one's going to kiss you under it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
you're
is there
sleeping
anything
alone
else a gunner can or should have? I mean, he's got a gun, so
What about a javelin?
You don't have a javelin, no.
sharp sticks.
Oh,
By the end
By
of
the
this,
way,
we will be making
having a
sharp
javelin is
sticks.
like having a win button.
could I have a P90 instead of an M4?
A P90. You want a P90 submachine gun?
Yeah, I want to be like SG1.
Yeah, why not? Go ahead. You can take a P90.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm not. You can have a P90 if you want.
No, I've already done all the ammo. I can't be fucked to piss around with that.
After, if you want to switch to P90, go right ahead. You want to go to war with a submachine gun, you go right ahead. You're not gonna be able to shoot farther than down the street.
Yeah, submachine gun is effectively the same effective range as a pistol. It's using pistol ammunition. It's just firing more rounds.
Look, I saw them take out
for
the
accuracy.
Jemadar, not the Jemadar. That's Star Trek. Fuck, mixing fucking friends.
It's great. It's great at like when you face somebody in a room. But you know what I mean. Like an assault rifle's better. It's good for like law enforcement. Pistol caliber, like fully
So
automatic
what's the
weapons are
difference
great for law
between a
enforcement.
carbine and a other one then? What is the difference?
Weight, basically. There's no real range. People say there's a range difference, but you can engage with an M4, like an M16 style M4. You can engage almost the same range you can with a regular size M4. It's just barrel length. And like an M16A2's barrel is like 20 something inches, and it's like 14 inches on an M4.
Yeah.
So it's shorter and more maneuverable and lighter weapon. It looks cooler as well.
No
if
idea
that
what
counts.
those inches are, but I'm pretty sure that the M16 is 1 meter and the M4 is 75 centimeters.
Yeah, in terms of stem to stern. Yeah. For most engagements, the carbines can be just fine. You're not doing a lot of long range shooting in an urban setting. If you are, you'd rather have a sniper rifle than an assault rifle anyway.
You could shoot up to half a kilometer with it though. For like a point target. It's not nothing to snuff at.
With the carbine or the M4? Or
Yeah, the M4, the
Yeah.
carbine. I don't know
I
what the range is in the game. We'll look at what the range is in the game, but
I think they're about the same, or one hex less for the carbine.
yeah.
And I would still prefer the carbine.
Yeah.
I don't know if they got it everywhere, but in 95 the Danish military adopted the M16, and then in 96 they adopted the M4.
Yep.
And I don't know if it were placed everywhere, but it was just, oh, this is a nice rifle. Now we're just going to change everything to carbines 1 year after we bought
Yeah.
the rifles.
I know Danish Special Forces went to the M4 pretty quick. Okay, so
And the
oh, go ahead.
no, it was funny because then everything is designated by the year it's adopted. So the M16 is M95 in Danish, and then M96 for the M4.
M95, M96, yeah. Okay, so you've determined your attributes, determined hit capacity and stress, and we'll determine skills in a little bit. As everybody, I think it auto updated your starting coolness under fire rating.
I found mine and put it in.
No, I had to do mine manually.
Okay. So the war continues, much to our chagrin.
It's not been
let
much
me
war.
see.
It's mostly been what? Mostly been jargon central. That's what it's mostly
Jargon
been.
Central, right? Military jargon central.
That's the first
If you
time I
thought
heard
role
that.
playing games are complicated enough,
Mhm.
throw in military jargon.
Much to
I
our,
thought I
what did you
remember
say?
reading.
Much to our chagrin.
Chagrin. Okay, yeah, I only ever read that word, so I haven't actually figured out how to pronounce it. I thought it was chagrin, but
Chagrin. Much to my
Chagrin sounds like a sword and sorcery character.
Hell yeah. Searchlight must be powered vehicle. That's a compass, globe positioning system. I thought I remember seeing something in rules about a laser, and then they said they have night vision lasers.
There's a night
Oh.
vision option I can tick on the M249.
Yeah, take night vision for it because
Cool.
you're gonna have 7 deltas, which are the model number of goggles you have.
Cool.
You don't have
Scope?
the monocular ones. You don't have a scope, no.
Okay, cool. All right. I think I'm tooled up until I get into the heat of combat and discover I'm not.
You're tooled the hell up, yeah.
I figured out it
so
for
hang
the
on.
grenades
So
as well.
Do I have night vision then? Is that what I need to tick? Right? Is that
You have night vision, yes.
Yeah, we're all half elves. We've all got dark vision.
Yeah, you've all got.
Very important.
It is. Let me
Um,
tell you something. Having night vision goggles is it's as good as the human race leaving the food chain. That's how much of an upgrade it is. Being able to see a maneuver at night and shoot at night, because you're gonna have night vision lasers on your weapons as well that you can only see with infrared light. And once there's 0 to your weapon, you don't even have to bring the weapon up and aim it. You can just hold it in the crook of your arm, activate the laser, and just shoot stuff like a video game. It's point and click and shoot. You don't have to shoulder the weapon or anything. You do have to for like long range shots, but if you're like on a roof and there's a dude over there, you just put your night vision laser on him and pull the trigger. Just keep making sure.
Great.
What's up?
Which is great if your opponents don't also have night vision.
Exactly.
Functions. If they do, then they see they'll
see the laser.
The laser that's providing that source for you. So it's a
but they
good
also
way
see the muzzle flash too.
Yeah.
Yep. But isn't suppressors going to be more widespread now in the U.S. military? I saw something about that.
Yeah, the Marines ordered a bunch of them.
Yeah, the Marines are getting them because hiding your flash is pretty.
Yeah,
flash
I mean,
suppression, you mean.
Yeah, it does have a tactical
You
application.
bunch of fucking nerds.
Yeah.
What's a bunch of nerds?
One of my friends was deployed in Iraq. Was it Afghanistan? Iraq, I think it was. And he said, no, it wasn't. Doesn't matter. He said, like, we didn't see people. We saw muzzle flash and we fired at that. So you see a window.
In Afghanistan, they engage it so far away. It's greater than 300 meters.
There's a muzzle flash. That's a guy shooting at me. I shoot back till it stopped flashing from that window. He was someone who asked if he killed somebody and says, I can't tell you for sure if I killed someone.
Yeah.
I shot at muzzle flashes till they stopped with my comrades. So
What's up,
some of us probably did because those muzzle flashes, they stopped.
Nathan calls that spending taxpayer dollar.
Yeah, it's called spending tax money. That's my that was my first my first lesson to like my guys when I started training them. Was if we receive fire, I want a huge chunk of tax money going downrange. Like just start spending it up. Okay, so I think finally, because you guys have first aid kits, all that stuff. So I think finally that's gear. If you guys are cool with that, is there any piece of equipment that you think you might need or might want, or you have a question about?
I have explosives, 1d6 explosives.
Of course you do, because the CIA is fucking insane.
And I rolled a d6 and I got a 2. So I added.
So you have 2 bricks of shit your pants.
Yep.
Well, that's good. That makes 2 of us.
You get 2 bricks of C4.
Nice.
Which is you can do a lot of damage with that.
More for structures.
If you wanted to get into demolitions, I was demolitions trained as well.
Oh, yeah?
So if you want to like get into, we'll just say you do not have a radio detonator for those. You don't have anything as sexy as that, but you do have like timed fuse.
Okay.
So I'll say you have fuses. Never mind. You have timed fuse because you can just adjust it on the fly if you want to anyway. So you have timed fuses.
If you shoot a wad of plastique, is that just it's just mushing into putty, or is it?
No, yeah, you'll mush it into putty.
Yeah. You
need like a lot of heat and pressure, but more than just a bullet.
So like a tracer round, or would that be enough?
Tracer round would light it on fire, and C4 burns really good.
Yeah.
If you need to start a fire, lighten a little piece of C4 underneath some wood's pretty good because it burns really nice.
Jesus.
But it doesn't go off.
No. Magnesium shavings will work just fine. I don't need to use my C4 for campfire. Jesus.
This is real survival.
Wow.
Yeah, you can also the military guys in the group will not let the CIA guy carry the detonators and the C4 at the same time. So he can have the C4, somebody else carries his detonators, the detonation equipment, like the M8 detonators, the shock tube and stuff like that. Someone else will carry that. That's another lesson. That's another lesson that was learned by people a long time ago. The guy carrying explosives does not carry the thing that sets off the explosives as well. Too many accidents happen.
This is such a unique RPG experience for me because, like, normally in a game, nobody goes, "Well, I've been a wizard for 15 years, and my fireball," like that just never happens. So actually playing with people who know what the game is about is weird
Yeah.
and great.
It's like he gets shot and then he trips and falls, and it's like, well, let's roll to see what blows up on him. Or let's see if that blows up, or if the, because like the now the M8, the little blasting cap, if you squeeze a blasting cap hard enough, it'll go off. So you want that as far away from C4 as possible. So if you fall on it, it goes off. It might hurt, but it doesn't blow up the C4 you have in the same bag as it, or on the same hip, or anywhere in the near vicinity, because you don't. That's enough heat and pressure to set the C4 off. So you can get shot carrying C4, and the C4 can get shot, and you're okay. But if your blasting cap is sitting in the same bag as the C4 and it goes off, it's what's called a sympathetic detonation. It's going to go off. It's going to cause the C4 to go off. The C4 is probably going to cause your hand grenades to go off as well, if they're all in the same general area on your
You are
vest.
now ground zero for your
Exactly.
TPK.
That reminds me of a game of Deadlands once where someone was running around with dynamite, and
Yes, it does.
that ended well.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Oh shit! I rolled a critical failure. All right,
No,
so
he just didn't
Sorry.
throw the dynamite far enough away from himself.
Yeah.
Right, skills.
skills. Let's do skiznils. Nope, that's not the compendium. Okay. Determine your starting skills. You must choose 1 B level skill, 2 C level skills, and 3 D level skills. Your B level skill must be one listed under your archetype. You can choose your C and D level skills freely. So this is the time where I should tell you guys that one of the suggestions in the rule book is that you not roll stuff unless there's a significant outcome or whatever, because the game is very lethal. So, for instance, somebody mentioned earlier they should take driving skill or whatever. I'm not going to have you make a drive roll unless it becomes like a significant issue. Everybody can drive, everyone can swim, everyone can use a radio, everyone can fix their weapon, everyone can do all those things. It's just I'll require a roll if there's a significant consequence to not doing the action fast enough or well enough. So like if you're doing it under duress, or you know what I mean, that type of stuff. So yeah. So your B level skill, which is a
do we need to like make sure that we have the skills to survive outside? Like at least one of us, or at least, does that make any sense? Do we want to make sure that we as a team can survive, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a short mission. Survival stuff is going to come up. Going to come up a lot less often.
Look. I don't know about you, but I can't imagine it being as straightforward as we think it's going to be.
It's not going to be straightforward.
Yeah, we've read the back of the box.
There's a reason why I'm giving you like 7 magazines of ammo and all.
Yeah.
So, basically, you have to the way the time is divided up in the game is divided up into shifts. It's divided up into like 6-hour shifts. So there's like 4 6-hour shifts in a day. You have to sleep for at least one of them. Being operators or whatever, you can go 24 hours before you have to roll for fatigue or whatever. If you don't sleep in a 24-hour period, you have to roll for fatigue. I'm gonna waive the first 24 hours, but once you get past the next 12 hours, I'll have you roll, because then you start to get you get sleep deprivation and stuff like that. But you have to sleep for at least one of those shifts. One of those shifts has to be spent building camp. So building camp is like, it's the same thing as cooking food and pitching tents and like picking a location. It's all rolled into one. So if like somebody builds camp, if one of the one person has to build camp, has to spend a shift building camp, other characters can assist, but other characters can do other things other than that one person building camp. So like if you want to recon the area, someone can recon while someone builds camp. That's kind of how the travel stuff works. We'll get more into that when, you know, what I mean, when we hit that portion of the game. We'll get more into like what you have to do and what you have to roll in order to set up a secure campsite so nobody can find it in the middle of the night. Or the GM is like me, I'm forced to roll a random encounter and spring it on you. But yeah, so you're gonna need a good spread of skills, but I don't see more than one person needing survival, and maybe it's the special forces guy that knows survival.
Yeah, it's
mean,
one of the core ones for me, arguably.
Yeah. But you don't.
But,
it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like one of your highest rated skills.
Yeah, like even as a D with a B intelligence, that's giving me D10s and D6s to roll. Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Okay.
A B.
B intelligence, D in survival.
Yeah, that's a D10 and D6. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you argue somewhere like for your survival roll, like you make like a, hey, I'm going to do it this way, I might give you a +1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what are we rolling? Blam.
I'm just testing out. I haven't used Foundry before, so just
Oh, okay, cool.
messing around.
D10, D8. So what'd you get? You got a 10 and a 3.
And I was
What did you get? Yeah, 2 successes for the 10. Yeah, because 8 is 10 and up. 10 and up is 2 successes.
yes.
Yeah,
10,
10 up is 2
11, and 12 are.
Well, this is different to how the normal year 0, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
having the different dice types definitely complicates things.
You're
it is-
basically
it is-
only rolling artifact dice in this.
Yeah, it is. You're still using dice pool from 2 different pools, but it is one die. Most you're ever rolling is 2 dice. And pushing.
So that makes having D6s to roll a lot lower odds of success, because you've got like 15% chance or 18% or whatever it is of getting that success. Okay.
Yeah. If you push the pushing mechanic in this game is done a little bit different. But
Hang on, why did that roll? Oh, okay.
8 and a 7 over 6, that's two successes.
Look at that.
Okay, so does everybody have their skills statted out?
Yes.
Still okay. So James, what did you take for your skills?
So I took medical aid at B.
Okay.
I took mobility and ranged combat at C.
Okay.
I took stamina, recon, and persuasion at D.
Cool. Okay, excellent. All right. Gray Storm, are you ready?
Yep.
What did Flagpole take?
Just let me call up my character choosers. That's so, and I'm open to feedback. But I was considering doing my B skill. It's going to be persuasion. Makes sense.
Mhm.
That's my forte. And then for my C skills, it'll be recon, range combat, just to be able to put something down range. That was my AB. That was my 2 C skills. Yes. And then my 3 D skills would be survival. Maybe that's not necessary. Maybe I should choose something else. Command. And mobility.
Okay, so that's good. A couple things, just to let you guys know how the rules work with certain skills in certain situations, because it concerns the team. The other half of your coolness under fire roll is whoever has the highest command score. So if the highest command score your group has is a D, it's a D6, then your coolness under fire rating for if you get suppressed or not, if you have to make a roll, is whatever your coolness under fire rating is, plus the unit morale, which is a D6.
So
And that
unit
can-
morale
those
is the
can-
highest command in the group.
Yeah, highest command in the group. When you roll for recon, when you're trying to sneak into a place or trying to infiltrate, the player with the lowest recon in the group rolls for the group. When you're trying
If you're
to
moving
lay-
in as a group.
Yeah, if you're moving in as a group, when you're trying to lay in an ambush or hiding from an enemy or laying in an ambush to ambush an enemy, the person with the highest recon makes the roll. If you were, because he can help, hey, listen, you idiot, I can see your feet sticking up, get down or whatever. If you're scouting a location, the person with the highest recon rolls for the group as well. So that's how like recon can work too.
What is mobility? Sorry, perhaps I should fucking ask what the skills mean.
Boom, 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 boom. Cancel. Let's look on the sheet. It's like moving around like hardcore parkour.
One
But
one thing that's for mobility that can maybe be interesting is that whenever you do a fast action to move, you get to move 2 hexes, and then you can make a mobility roll to move an additional hex per success.
Yeah.
And so mobility helps you move more, get closer if that's what you want.
So,
It's also your throw skill.
when you jump, climb, run fast, or perform any other action that requires speed or motor control, you roll mobility. The skill is also used for thrown weapons and has other specific rules in combat, like rolling mobility to duck for cover and stuff like that. It has uses in that.
Is it something I really want to waste my C skill on?
It doesn't hurt, but let me see which other skills are.
Do you want me to take more in command, since it's my mission, and then I'll take that one for the team, so everybody get one step up on coolness under fire?
Good with that.
Cool. Yeah.
Because we don't want to be lying in a ditch suppressed.
No,
I've got a
absolutely.
C in recon, so
So what does that make your command now?
I am considering changing my. I'll lower my range combat, or
Okay.
I'll lower my recon.
Don't lower
Is the-
ranged combat.
yeah, lower
Okay.
your recon.
Oh, please don't lower ranged combat.
No, is anyone else good at recon?
I've got a C in recon.
All right, I'll take a D in recon, and then I'll take a C in command. And then that means that we have a D8 for our group morale.
That sounds reasonable.
Awesome.
You a bit better.
Tom, what did you go for, by the way?
So, and I realize this will be a shock. I've gone for B in heavy weapons.
Shock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I know you're all reeling.
Shocking.
It's C in ranged combat and driving.
Mhm.
And then my D's are mobility, stamina, and recon, because I don't want to be that person who trips over themselves and makes a clanging noise.
Gotcha.
Don't ever want to be that person.
I'm going to change my mobility and persuasion around.
Yeah, I've got nothing in empathy.
I
I
think
mean,
it's going
I-
to be a talker, not a shooter.
You take persuasion C.
Yeah, persuasion
Okay.
C and mobility D.
Okay. All right.
What does tech cover? Is that your,
Like fixing radios and like repairing stuff.
Look, I repair bodies. I don't need to repair something else.
He's an organic mechanic. That's
If nobody is up for tech, I can take tech instead of survival.
as a D? Yeah, that makes sense. I've got survival as my D, so
Cool.
And then
So have we
that's
covered
where-
everything, really?
And that's where we find out for Tom, we never encounter a vehicle that he can use.
but it'd
It's
also
fine.
be, not just vehicles, but equipment repair. Can you get the elevator online or whatever?
Yeah.
get the other.
And if your reliability, if you push a roll and you get ones on your ammo dice or your skill die, your firearm is going to take damage, and you need tech. You need to use a shift to use a tech roll to bring back that reliability. Otherwise, your weapon is going to break down.
Yeah. So, with regard to the rules for like weapon reliability and roll of ones in combat, if you roll a 1 on your weapon roll, and it's I think if you push your firearms roll and it comes up 1 again, then your weapon jams. Weapons don't jam, or you get like whatever. If your weapon jams, all you have to do is make another like ranged combat roll. If you make a ranged combat roll, it's basically sports. It's slap, pull, observe, release, tap, and squeeze. So that slap up on the magazine, pull a charger handle back, look at the round leaving the chamber, release the charger handle, tap the forward assist, pull a trigger. It's called remedial action. Any soldier who has a weapon go click when they pull the trigger, they're going to do that. If your second range combat fails, that means your weapon's jammed and it's like proper fucked. So you're gonna have to like tear it apart and fix it. But as long as you make that second range combat roll, you make that second success test on your next turn, then your weapon's fine. It'll fire normal.
Ooh.
It was just like a double feed, not a double feed, but it was just like failure to fire or some shit. So like,
That's
it's literally
one of the reasons why you
can
don't
see
fill
Russell
a magazine
Crowe
all
doing
the
it
way.
in the movie. One of the movies, I forget, Proof of Life. He does it.
Yeah.
You see him do sports in his weapon real quick. It's like, oh, that's cool to see that in a movie.
Nice touch.
Yeah.
But some magazines, they tend to jam if they are full. So in a 30-round mag, you'd have 28 or 29 rounds.
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen.
On yours?
Maybe in World War, maybe in the Vietnam War that was so, but not the
M16A1s would do that.
Yeah, but the new 30-round magazines don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Right, what's next?
Okay, what is next? We should ask the GM.
Was there Douglas? You were saying that they suggested something or something.
If we're done with moral code and big dream, we got to select a buddy. We talked a little bit maybe off camera about the buddy mechanic.
Yeah,
we could explain that here.
So yeah, the buddy mechanic.
I was mentioning you said that they suggest something additional thing or something.
Oh, sorry. Right. So some of the reviews I've been reading, it's not particularly relevant for this group. I don't think. Some of the reviews were suggesting that the archetypes come through a little underpowered compared to a character that's gone through the life path character generation. So if you have in a party, if you've got a mix of people who've gone through life path and you've had a couple of people join who are grabbing an archetype, they suggest giving the archetype players an additional specialty.
Oh, if we're all the same, it don't matter, does it?
Yeah, it's not relevant for us, but we do need to pick specialties.
Yeah, I have I rolled a character using life path in preparation for this to see what method I wanted to use, and I got really lucky and I made Jesus with a firearm. So it's like I've got like B's and C's and a whole bunch of skills. My range is A. It just gets nuts.
You're a little older.
And then and then I am 18, 24, 25, 30 years old. I took military like all 6 stages because career went in it. So it gets ridiculous. And you can literally roll once on the age chart, go to like 18 years old or 24 years old, and then bomb your next roll, and the war breaks out, and that's it. Your character's done. Yeah. And he's got like a third of the skills that my character has. Yeah. And we were both sitting in the same game.
And that's where we are. Is where that the kid who at 22 had the war breakout comparatively in terms of the amount of the level of our skills and the number of specialties we bring to the table. But that's fine because we're all in the same boat.
We had like one character when we did Lifetime, one character start with 4 specialties and one character start with 1 specialty.
Yeah, it gets specialties are +1. Some of them are specific rules, but most of them are just like +1s to skills. But that bumps a lot of stuff up like quick. It can
Just for interest's sake, do we want to do 2 specialties per character just so there's a little more variety and rules we can explore?
You know what? Sure, why not? Won't make no difference to me. because you're going to get everything plus the kitchen sink thrown at you. So let's go with one specialty that's on your archetype, and then you guys can pick a second specialty based on like what your it could be anything, what you did before the war, or you know what I mean, stuff you picked up during. So go ahead. Let's look at let me look at specialties real quick. I love the little touch too that the like the book, like the fiction, right? The beginning of each sections in the book. It's pretty neat.
The color text.
Yeah. Like this was, I was never good with math. Never had to be until we found a mortar. Top showed me how to use it. Top is military slang for a first sergeant, and a first sergeant is the highest ranking individual in a line company.
We have a first time chatter, Nathan. Are you going to play a shorter scenario or some full campaign like a traditional Tour of Poland campaign?
We are going to do, yeah, this is going to be a short scenario. So yeah, 6 sessions, but so it's like a mini campaign.
Yeah, so it should cover like, we'll do experience, like we'll do the whole experience, spending experience and stuff. So it should give you a good taste of like everything the game offers, more or less.
Yeah, we're going to explore most aspects of the rules. So there will be vehicle combat in it. There will be
Tom,
the overland travel rules.
Buy a useless skill.
Yeah, he didn't buy a useless skill. It's okay. There's gonna be vehicle combat. There's gonna be let me get rid of that.
However, are you the only person with heavy weapons?
I think so.
Yeah. So the driver can't work the machine gun.
Yeah, who's gonna use the gun up top?
Yeah, it's fine. I'll drive with my feet, and then I'll shoot out. It'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll have a cigarette in one hand.
Yeah.
A cup of coffee in the same hand. His machine gun over the side. He'll just be driving because it's all the vehicles are automatics anyway. So
yeah, it's gonna be fine.
I can drive just fine. Yeah. We'll be all right.
Yeah. Okie dokie. And we'll burn that bridge when we get there too, with whoever needs to, if someone needs to gun versus not gunning.
So I've gone for machine gunner because obviously anybody like what other specialities might be fun or useful?
So machine gunner gives anyone at home playing the home game, machine gunner gives +1 modifier to heavy weapons rolls for firing all types of machine guns. So it effectively bumps his skill up 1 die level. In most specialties, that's what they do. There's some specialties that do certain things like killer. Killer is a specialty where you don't need to fail your empathy roll in order to assassinate somebody at close range. You just do it. Which is handy.
It's not gonna be 6 sessions, it's gonna be 7 sessions.
Sorry, yeah, 7
sessions. 7 including this one.
Yeah. Yes. And then on the 8th it will be basically a review / interview with the creator. So I'll need to get in contact with Free League and arrange it, but that was something that they had as an option to basically contact the person and basically get a
cool. We'll get Thomas Langstrom on here.
There's actually there are some of the specialities that has interesting effects. I didn't want to take that one. It's not really me, but one of the persuasion ones, I think it is. Interrogator. No, one of the one the spook can take is take a recon roll, and the referee must give you the stats of the opposition. I was like, yeah, that's gonna take fun out of things.
No, it won't. What's the what is it?
What was it called? Just 1 minute. It's intelligence. It's called intelligence, and it's under intelligence. But I don't want that one. I want psyops. My character is more like a manipulator.
All right.
But I was thinking about taking, since we now decided that I take command, so we have better cones on the fire. Maybe taking other tactician or frontline leader. So I want to run tactician by the referee, Nathan.
Yeah, let me see.
It says here I roll a command roll. when you spot an enemy force. If you succeed, the referee must tell you something useful about their current organization and objectives.
Okay.
So it's more narrative. It's more what you like to tell rather than the other. You have to give me the stats.
Yeah. Roll recon when you spot enemy troops vehicles. Okay, cool. That's awesome. And intelligence.
I don't take intelligence. I take tactician,
I'm just
if
reading
you
it.
will allow it.
I'll allow whatever you want. So you want to take tactician, go right ahead.
I will do just that then.
You spot enemy troops vehicles weapons. You succeed. Referee should tell you their
And
stats.
if we make enough XP and it falls to my character, I will also go for frontline leader.
I will tell you that taking intelligence makes more sense for a CIA than tactician. Because the CIA's tactician specialty is not gonna like outplay an SF guy. But the CIA absolutely will have studied Russian military tactics, weapons, and equipment. So like let's say you see a BTR-70 rolling down the street.
Mhm.
You can roll your intelligence roll, then you remember, oh, the BTR-70 can take about 8 to 10 soldiers in the back, plus they can port fire their weapons out the sides of it, and it's got a 14.5 millimeter machine gun on it as well, or a 12 millimeter.
And the armor's thinner here.
Yeah, but it's up to you. Whatever you want to take, you can take tactician, absolutely.
Right, Nathan, you need to make sure that we can actually look at the specializations, because at the moment I can't click on the specializations. And
So the way to do it is just drag the specialization onto your sheet, and it'll show it, because we can't click through, but we can drag and then look at it.
But you can set it up so that we can like click on them and actually open them up.
That's right.
Hold on a sec. I am making sure I'm going through.
Because you're saying I haven't got permissions, is basically what you're saying.
Okay, check now.
No.
Yeah, so I'm dragging them all on my sheet, and then I'm going to delete the ones that I don't want. That's
okay.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
I'm doing at the moment. So definitely machine gunner, and then load carrier. So I could just be your pack mule. I don't know what MBC stands for, but I quite like the idea of being good at resisting infection.
NBC is nuclear, biological, chemical warfare. Is that what you're saying?
+1 modifier to standard for all infection rolls, even those triggered by radiation or chemical agents. Also lets you identify nuclear, biological, or chemical weapon effects and personnel and equipment. It makes sense thematically.
Yeah,
you could
that's
be the
pretty cool.
NBC rep for your company
Cool.
if you want it. Yeah.
All right, we have a plan.
Cool. You've got M9. You got to roll M9 tape as well. That's chemical detection tape.
Ooh.
The last thing we have to do is moral code and buddy system.
Oh, I need to do specialties.
Okay, James, these do specialties. So boom, 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 boom. I think you had field surgeon, combat medic, or what were the other ones? General practitioner.
And how many do I get? Just one or two?
You get 2. One of them
Alright.
has to be combat medic, field surgeon, or general practitioner.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, give me a sec.
Combat medic is a +1 modifier to medical aid rolls for helping an incapacitated character get back up. No effect on treating critical injuries.
Which is what field surgeon is for.
Yeah, field surgeon is probably better than combat medic, because I don't think you need a +1 bonus for your medical aid because it's your highest skill roll.
What the +1 does let you do is get multiple successes, though.
Yeah.
Like I took sniper for my guy, even though he's got A agility and B.
I'm going to
and
take field
range.
surgeon.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to have a look at the... I might go for combat medic, but I'm going to have a look at the...
Interrogator. You can do interrogator.
other specialties.
You can
Yeah.
take interrogator. You can
Learn how to take people
you can
apart.
pair that up. You can pair up you can pair up field surgeon with
I love how that's considered a persuasion specialty.
Yeah, I know, right? What is logistician? Logistics.
I might take
Statistician
linguistics.
Linguistics?
Linguist.
There you go.
Oh.
And speak Polish.
Were we picking one or two extra specialties?
You should have 2 specialties.
Yeah, one for
One
Normally
specialty
in
has
the-
to be one of the ones on your archetype, and then the second specialty has to be.
Roger that.
Roger that.
Normally, when you're doing an archetype character generation, you've got one specialty coming out as a new character, but we've added one to get a little more flavor and interest in the characters.
I
purposes
am
of
gonna
Roleplay.
throw you guys through the ringer, though. So
So our spook has what languages? You have Russian?
Yeah, he's like English, pretty proficient with Russian. And then he speaks some Polish, but not very well. Yeah.
But I've
You
gone
can
for
get by.
linguist. And it says choose another language. I'm going to pick Polish, funnily enough.
all right.
And Wynn has a smattering of German from his folks, but
Okay.
not enough to pass.
Yeah, and he can speak English. And he can speak Cockney. No.
It speaks
Is
Cockney.
a different language for sure.
All right.
Apples and
He
pears.
speaks Cockney rhyming.
Do you speak it as well as Dick Van Dyke?
Get on the bone.
Yeah, he's over there. He's over there talking about nuclear subs and shit. And you're like, I don't have any idea what the medic's saying, what Doc's saying.
Yeah, he told me to get on his bone. Like, what is that even?
I don't
Not
think I
okay.
want to do that.
Yeah.
Doc's crazy.
I mean, to each his
He told
own,
me to
but
get
I'll
on the
pass.
blower. What's he trying to blow up?
Blower, I know.
All right.
Yeah.
What specialties did the gunner choose?
So machine gunner felt like low hanging
Oh,
fruit,
NBC, right?
and then NBC. Yeah.
Okay, yep. What did Douglas the operator take?
Infiltrator, which is a +1 modifier to recon rolls when trying to stealth, basically, and sniper. Yeah, very, very sort of by the book for this guy.
Sniper, close range cover, 5-star browser, and hunting rifles. Okay.
So the hope is I'll be getting lots of 4 success hits.
Hell yeah, I hope. Because you need, so your successes add a point to damage, and the more damage, some of the weapons, the critical hits, are what forces people to roll on their critical hit chart for like an injury, like a specific injury to a specific point of the body. So the more points of damage you inflict with certain weapon systems, then that allows you to have to roll a crit hit, and you know what I mean?
It's a little crunchy, but not as bad as the original.
Yeah. It's a little crunchy, but not as bad as the original. True. There is in combat in this system, the combat can get real crunchy with the modifiers, but there's if you keep it in mind, it's real easy to kind of follow. So the way I figured it was, there's 3 things you need to think about when you're gonna attack a NPC. You have to think about the person who's shooting, which is your individual skill, which is your 2 dice. You have to think about, like, are you stable platform? Did you aim? Then you have to think of the weapon system you're using. So does it give me a +1 because of the scope or anything like that? And what rate of fire am I going to use? Am I going to use some rate of fire dice to add some more bullets into the equation? And then you have to think of the target you're shooting at. So is it prone? Is it standing behind cover? Is it moving? Those all add modifiers as well. As long as you work through, or as a GM, I have to work through those 3 things, it's pretty easy to keep track of. So it's pretty easy. Like, okay, it's you got your 2 dice, you're standing, you have a good, you aim, so you don't have a -1 to your roll. Okay, cool. Now you're gonna, you know what I mean? I can keep track of it if I think of those 3 things. So it's pretty straightforward. And then Foundry with the core set does most everything for us anyway.
Right.
So like when you hit, it's going to give me a location. I can roll on the chart. If you get enough damage, I can click on the rollable table, roll on the crit hit chart, and it it walks us through the process instead of having to remember all that.
When we get into a combat, you'll need to explain how ammo dice work.
Yeah.
But we should finish off these characters and get into things, right?
Heck yeah.
So moral code, big dream, buddy.
One thing though, I never really settled on a specialty.
Okay.
So I wanted to just take this one up with the group. So I'm thinking about either intelligence or investigator. So intelligence is roll recon and get some stats. Or investigator, roll recon when you spend a stretch or more investigating a scene of a crime or a battle. If you succeed, the referee should give you some useful information about what happened and when.
I feel like we're going to be the ones in the fight rather than showing up after the fight, but that's I mean, I'm sure we'll encounter that stuff too, not necessarily in the next couple of sessions, but
All right, I'm gonna grab an intelligence then.
Okay. And sorry, intelligence just seems really smart for a CIA guy to take. It
Kind
could
of
be,
on
really,
brand.
That was my
Yeah,
when I was a brand new soldier and we were worried about like the Cold War or whatever. My job, one of my jobs, I had to study like NATO and NATO and Warsaw vehicles and stuff. So I know everything there is to know about like the Songster missile, the Sager missile system, RPG 7s, like Russian tanks. I know what a CSOP is. I know like how Russian dirt teams work. All this crazy, ridiculous shit that's in my head, and I'm 43 years old. And I'll never forget any of that silly shit. It doesn't help me in any aspect of my life right now, other than running a really good game of Twilight 2000.
Yeah, this is the moment. Cash it all in.
your whole life has been building to this, Nathan.
Yeah.
Whole life worried about fighting Warsaw countries has come to running Warsaw countries on a role-playing game.
Well,
it
it
might
might get
thing.
useful again soon.
That's a good thing.
All right.
So, really good piece of information, so you guys know, a CSOP, which is kind of like a Russian recon patrol, is usually 2 BMPs in 1 tank or 2 tanks in 1 BMP.
EMP's
They fight in
normal
3 vehicle
carrier.
formations if it's not like a big huge push, if it's just a patrol. But in this game, fuel is few and far between. So if you see a bunch of vehicles, if you see more than 1 vehicle, you probably want to skedaddle. You don't want to hang around because they're probably expending fuel because it's a resource and they're on a mission, so you don't want to mess with them. But
If we see a BMP's an armored personnel carrier for the Soviets, if we see one of those, that means there's more troops there than our group of 4. So we're still going to skip.
Yeah, there could be up to 8 guys in the back of the BMP. So, all right. Which means if you had that anti-tank launcher gunner, that would be the
So
That would be
we
the
switch over to
target
the
to
bio tab.
well, bang. All right.
Gives us appearance, buddy, moral code, big dream, how you met.
Appearance, how we met, we're good to go. You guys met in a tent during a mission briefing. Morale code and buddy is what we need because it can add you a +1 situational +1 in certain situations. Naturally, I said situation twice. That's goofy. Okay, so yeah, let's go around the horn with moral code. This is going to be interesting.
Who do you want to start with?
Let's start with you, James.
You can't save everyone, but you'll sure as hell try.
That's excellent for a medic. Excellent. And who's your buddy?
I haven't picked one.
You haven't picked one yet?
No.
All right.
I don't want to play favourites.
You
But
have to play
I'll take-
favorites. It's just
But I'll take bribes. So who wants to be my buddy?
I mean,
wants
always
have a
good to
plus-
stay
who wants
in
to have
with the
James
medic.
Be able to roll a +1 on your medical aid roll to help you because you're his buddy. His face.
James is everybody's buddy.
All right, we'll come back to you on your buddy.
I'll take
Can we maybe, because I would love to hear people like what their moral code is,
Mhm.
maybe their dream, maybe we can find buddies on that.
Cool. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go around the
Yeah.
room with everybody's.
all right. My
moral
big
code.
dream.
Big dream.
My big dream is get home with some shred of hope and humanity left in my heart.
Okay. So real quick, there was a question from earlier that off screen that I wanted to address on screen. So it was, what is the situation with your guys' home nations? Nukes got dropped all over, and like power grids went down, and society started breaking down. All over everybody's country is basically, the world is a worse off place than it was. There are split factions within militaries, within your military and the Russian military, as far as you think, that there's some people that are still trying to win the war. There's some people that are like, I think we should take all this combat power and send it back to the US and try to rebuild the US. We should stop fighting, and we've blown the shit out of each other for long enough that we should go back home. I will tell Greystorm that the message that he's getting through intelligence channels is fight the war, win the war. That's what he's getting. He's getting to, hey, listen, we can still do this. We can still win. But there's like a bunch of military command, like kind of, some people have their foot half in the battle, half out. Because they're like, I think we should get all this home. Some people are like, we need to fight so that we could secure a safe retreat or whatever. That is the state of the military that you guys are, that's what everyone's talking about at chow time. Hey, Seattle went dark. There's nothing coming out of Seattle anymore. That nobody knows what's going on back home.
So no one's banging on about knowing it's half the battle, yeah?
So
no, nobody does know shit.
Seattle went from gray to dark.
So
rains 9 months of the year in Seattle.
Let's go with. So it's raining. That's what it is.
Unfortunately,
weather report for
radiation.
Seattle's it's raining. You don't need to know any news coming out of Seattle because we already know the state that Seattle's in. All right, Greystorm, what is? Asking the CIA what his moral code is. What is the CIA? What is his moral code, and what is his big dream?
So the moral code is, I don't know if it goes as a moral code, but I'm above others and they are clay in my hands.
Dope. That's awesome.
And then we can still win this war. I'm in it to win it.
Awesome.
So I believe the filth from high command. I eat it all up.
That's cool. The fastest way to promotion. All right.
Yeah, I actually
Tom.
believes it.
Second
Really does.
fastest after the guy ahead of you getting killed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think since he's become a dad, like previously Blake Parsons would shoot anybody, but his new moral code is kids didn't choose this shit. You never hurt a kid.
Okay.
And the big dream, like fuck this war. Let's get home to hold his daughter Julie, no matter what.
All right.
Inter-party conflict.
Blake's
Get
dead.
home.
Blake will be dead in the first session.
Yeah, it's going to be a child with an AK-47 is going to gun him down. Don't worry, we're not going to. I won't drag you into that morally deep water until way later.
That's episode 7.
We haven't touched on that in our session 0 yet in terms of lines.
Child soldiers isn't going to come in until like episode 5. You'll be okay.
Great.
You'll have the opportunity to rewrite your moral code. No, I'm just kidding. Get home. Don't kill kids. Okay. What is so flagpoles was we can win this war. And I know James and Eckert. What is Eckert's
moral code? When the
moral
shit
code.
hits the fan, everyone looks to you. You'll lead them to safety no matter the risk.
That's
And your big dream.
Push the Soviets out of this country. That was your mission, and you see no reason to change it.
Cool.
Very task focused.
I sense a buddy there.
Yep, I do too.
It feels that way. And that way there's nice pairing between the four of us.
All right. Cool. That is yes, that takes care of buddies.
James, can I hear your big dream again?
Get home with some shred of hope and humanity left in your heart.
Oh yeah. Cute.
I haven't picked a buddy yet.
That's hard to do with the machine gunner. Would be really, really good friends with the medic
Yeah, it
because he's got
sounds
all
like
the painkillers.
Parsons and Laker seem to be a good match.
All right, Blake is my buddy. There we go. I bowed to peer pressure.
There's no safer place than hiding behind, like not hiding behind, but staying next to the machine gunner.
Totally. I get it. You stand there, Wall, and you soak bullets. Thanks.
Yeah. All right.
You lay down
Hank,
hate,
what?
and I'll patch up people. You put bullets in people, and I will patch people together. Okay. That's everything, guys. That's character creation. Archetype character creation can go extremely quick if you don't have me like asking a bunch of questions and like barking at you like, hey, listen, take this gear, add all this extra gear. Character creation
have a load
is
of
fairly
fucking
quickly
jargon.
with
Excellent.
archetype. Like if one of you should, heaven forbid, buck the kick it, then or kick the bucket, then archetype character creation will rapid fire another character out and then GM some way for them to join the group. But hopefully, when he gets down to combat, we'll see.
Name's Piotr. I want to kill some Russians.
What do you want to do? Do you want to end it there and then start next week properly, or what?
Yeah, let's do we'll parachute in. And we'll get a quick intro as to what's going. Actually, you know what? No, we can end it. Nah, do I want to parachute in? Or? Nah, I don't. We'll keep all that for next week.
Because it's probably going to get into action pretty quick.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to make a mobility roll to parachute onto the roof.
Shit.
No, don't change your skills. Don't change your skills. You're so just to be clear, you'll have to make a parachuting roll. You'll have to make a mobility roll. Everyone's going to land on the roof. You just have to make a mobility roll so that it's like flawless. You know what I mean? But everybody, I'm not going to say, oh, you failed your mobility roll. Well, James just went into the garden across the street. You know what I mean?
Deadpool
He landed
2,
in the
yeah?
river.
Oh, you landed in electrical wires. You fried yourself. Oh well.
Exactly.
Mate,
Or you landed in the supermarket parking lot. Sorry, no, you guys will hit the objective. You'll be fine. But you'll have to mobility roll. If you fail your mobility roll, or if you glitch it, then you might break a piece of gear. But and I'll tell you right now, it's going to be your night vision goggles or your radio. It's the first thing that gets broken. It's the first thing that breaks is your night vision. Kit. You'll land on your night vision. You're like, shit, my nods are broke. Nods are night vision optical device, or a night observation device. Everybody in the army calls night vision goggles nods. NODS. Or if you want to get funny, you
landing
call it
badly and
vision.
breaking your nads, which would be really painful.
That's right.
Nods, yeah.
I've got some. I've got some morphine for that.
Great.
That's right.
You'd have to work really hard to land nads first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to do the splits while landing.
Someone
Not
said
good.
in chat, TV antenna to the crutch.
Yep. TV antenna. To the
Oh
crotch.
yeah.
Kind of
That's
whip
gonna smart
antenna.
like
Whip
Dickens.
antenna to the dick. All right. So what else do I want to see rules wise? Yeah, we're not going to roll skill checks unless there's a consequence. That includes getting the drop on people as well. So like if you're in a stable firing position and there's an unaware enemy moving towards you and it's not a too terribly difficult shot, I'm not going to have you roll. I'm just going to automatically roll in the critical hit chart and you hit him. It's like, why would I make you roll like you're resting, you're aiming, you're shooting, you're going to roll 2d10. There's going to be pluses and minuses, and then we're going to roll. We're going to take 10 minutes for you to figure out you just gunned the dude down. So unless there's heavy consequences like it's active fighting, you're not going to have to roll. So you're like, I'm going to take this guy out. Okay, cool. You take that guy out. Now the gunfight starts. Draw initiative and stuff. Ask questions if you you know what I mean. If you want advice about certain stuff, that's cool too. and we'll it'll be fun.
Cool.
Does anybody
Where
have
do
any
we
questions
learn
of me?
about? Yeah, where do we learn the jargon so that we can sound like we're military?
There's no there's nowhere you can learn it. You have to live
Is
it.
there a wiki page or anything?
There is actually some YouTube
probably
videos
not.
that.
I don't want to watch YouTube videos. Otherwise, I end
No,
up
no.
watching people eat MREs like that. What's his face? Steve, what? Steve something or other, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
No. Okay.
I have no idea. Yeah.
See,
got
any
3
other
MREs
game I
right
would
now.
just make jargon up, but I don't feel like I can get away with it in this one.
No, I mean you can you don't have to know jargon because James doesn't know US military jargon either. But British guys don't know US military jargon either.
Right.
In fact, whenever we team up with whenever we do joint operations with England and stuff, we always do like a training mission with them first, or we get together and talk and do stuff, because it's always good, because we have to figure out how the British military talks on the radio.
Mm.
So when we call the British military on the radio and they respond a certain way, we know what they're talking about or what they're asking. You know what I mean? This is how they report. Let's say I want to call in a medevac, but the closest unit is I'm doing a joint operation with the British Army and the British military, and the closest air medevac is going to be British. So if I call the British military, how do I need to call the medevac? How do they do it versus how do we do it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's natural that James's medic doesn't know shit. What do you call it? Nods?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what British military calls night vision goggles, but I bet you they don't call them nods. They call them something else. But yeah, little differences. So it's okay that you guys don't know military jargon, because if I do slip and say something, just like James has been doing, stop me and ask me.
Cool. And most groups playing this game aren't going to be deeply, unless they got a guy like Nathan in the group, is not going to be deeply versed in the stuff either.
Ideally, I should have asked my another streamer guy who does. He's in the British military, so that would have been pretty cool if I could have got him. But he's not really into
cool.
D&D.
We'd spend the whole time just arguing about whose nomenclature is right.
No one's nomenclature is right. It's all correct.
It's all
It's
made up.
fine. At some point, I'll run a game for you all set in a theatre, and I'll be going, "Oh no, you're supposed to be on prompt side, coming from the green room, and you can all look blank. It'll be fine."
That's not duct
revenge.
tape. It's not gun tape. That's gaffer tape.
Exactly.
Gaffer tape.
That's the magic thing that fixes all things.
Absolutely.
Cool. I will tell you this: most military operations are conducted at night, because nighttime you have a lot of advantages, because you can see in the dark, you can move, you have concealment most of the
Except
time.
if you land on your night vision goggles.
And except if you land in night vision goggles, and then you're walking around. Yeah, it's to be funny.
Full moon tonight?
If you got to be that guy who breaks his night vision. You all have spare batteries, because that's one thing that always runs out too. You always blow your double A's, you'll run out of power, but you got spare batteries to run everything indefinitely. Or for the purposes of this adventure, you have enough double A's and stuff to run everything indefinitely. Or till the end of the adventure. What else?
Weather report?
Overwhelming combat power wins fights. So you hit something with a hammer as hard as you can. Don't if you're going to engage, do Batu in what does he say in Ghost in the Shell, when he enters the little cafe and just guns everybody down with a machine gun. Anyway, you guys haven't seen that. Never mind.
No, it's the principle of maximum
They don't
force.
remember it.
Yeah. Use maximum amount of force on, even if it's just like a couple guys. Your objective is to win the gunfight as fast and violently as possible.
Not to get into politics, but that increasingly has become part of police force training, which is how we've gotten into some of the messes we've been in lately.
Yeah. That's your objective. And don't start gunfights if you don't need to. And if you're getting ambushed or you're getting shot at, there's no need for you to engage. You can just break contact. And always remember cover. You always want to be behind cover in a gunfight. You never want to. It's not like D&D. You can't hang out and shoot your longbow. You have to be behind cover.
if we can do it, I don't know if you know, but the cover gives armor rating. So any weapon is going to give a damage rating on a hit, and your first success goes to actually applying your weapon's base damage. Any additional success, either from your skill die or applied ammo die. So when you do take a shot, you get to pick a number of d6s up to your rate of fire. Those the total of those d6s is how many bullets you're going to subtract from your total, and any 6 is going to be an additional hit. Now they can't hit without you hitting with your skill die. You need those are additional hits from fire superiority. But if you don't hit but you have bullets, you can still suppress the enemy, so you can spray them.
I generally learn
then-
better by playing rather than like being told.
Okay,
It's just
okay.
Yeah,
fair enough.
always saying is if you don't spend any ammo dice on a roll, if you don't choose to, you just fire one shot.
Yeah.
If you have an M4 which has a rate of fire, I think of 2 or 3, then you can just say I'm going to shoot plus I'm going to spend 1 ammo die. So you roll the 1 ammo die, which is essentially a D6. If you get a 6 on that ammo die, it counts as an extra hit. If you don't get any hits on your skill dice, but your ammo dice turns up as a 6, that actively suppresses the enemy. That means you got close enough to make them duck down and hide.
And so
That's what ammo dice do.
your armor subtracts from that damage. If you got cover, that subtracts even more. So if we're behind cover with our plate jackets, that's -4 damage to whatever the enemy can do to us. So cover is just very
Yeah, it's
effective.
anywhere from -2 to like -4, I think, depending on how hard the cover is.
Oh, we don't have to roll for cover.
Nope.
You have to move into cover though, which is an action.
It's a
fast
mobility
action,
roll
yes.
and an action. Mobility roll if it's under duress, whatever. But well, like I said, we'll handle all that in cover.
Cool.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about using slow and fast actions and all that stuff when we get into an encounter.
Yep. Yeah, we'll drop through like a tutorial encounter as soon as you guys parachute in. So it'll be ample opportunity to.
There's someone on the roof.
No, there's nobody on
got-
the roof.
I got more. Don't worry, I got morphine.
It's when James accidentally lands on top of a Russian tank.
It'll be the one place they wouldn't be looking.
He will learn the name Doc Holliday after that. Okay,
Oh.
cool. So,
Hey, Johnny Ringo.
hey, Johnny Ringo, I'm your Huckleberry. And then hucks a grenade into the top of the hatch of the tank.
Putting the
All right.
Huckleberry. Yeah.
That's, yeah, we'll call it there, James. And
Alright, cool.
thanks for hanging out.
So before we go, does anyone have anything they want to shout out? Like, some of you started doing Twitch, haven't you? Or thinking about doing Twitch? No?
No, I'm good. I don't need a shout.
Not at this point. Maybe
Yeah,
later.
I have nothing to plug.
Does anyone have
We're happy to
anything
plug you,
plug?
James.
All right. Well, well then, okay. Don't forget to join all my social media. Yeah, I did spell it right. Excellent. Discord. If you want to chat to us, join Discord. There's plenty going on there. We were recently talking about what games that we could like run off the bat without any prep, and what games we could run with a bit of prep. Surprisingly, a lot of similar games. So you know. Twitter is, you'll see the when I post the VODs onto YouTube and when we're going live, and some other random shit occasionally. Facebook if you don't use Twitter, and then if you're watching this on Twitch, there's loads of videos on YouTube. There's like 200 videos on YouTube that you can go watch right now, of all different sorts of games. Some of them are campaigns that don't go anywhere because I don't get the views. Like Curse of Strahd.
Because real life happens.
Well, I had to go back to
I
work,
was-
and I had to like go. I can't do this anymore because I've got. To
Yeah,
go
yeah.
back to work.
It's a long campaign to get involved in, man.
There is plans to do a Warhammer game at some point. Attempt to do the Enemy Within again, but that won't be for a little bit. That's about it. I might try and set up a off-air game during the week as well, another one, just to do something else. I don't know. But yeah.
Maybe once you're feeling better.
Yeah, once I'm less fatigued. But yeah, we will see you all next week. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Thank you for all the subscriptions today. And we will see you next time.
Be safe. Take care of one another.
Clear those
Everyone,
wormholes.
see you guys.
See you on the beach.
See you on the beach.
Don't forget, you can support me on Patreon over at patreon.com/JamesCorp. And also get your name here in the credits. I'd like to thank Era Sherpa, Weefs, Orcus Dorcas, Matt Jones, Mike Nudd, Ludovic, Giuseppe, and J-Wall. Thank you very much for your continued support. Most appreciated. Bye.